Great, welcome back everybody. Thanks for putting up with us while we did some technical stuff behind the scenes. We are back and live streaming from GAMA 2017 here in beautiful, warm Las Vegas. We're gonna jump right back in with Tony from Arcane Wonders. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
What'd you bring? I'm so excited.
I brought new games.
Yay!
So we're looking at May and June launches from Arcane Wonders, just to let everyone know. And the big one for May is Onitama Sensei's Path. It is a card expansion for Onitama. One of the questions we've been having is concerning the size of the box. No, this is not the same size as the Onitama box. It is a smaller,
I wish we had that too.
smaller little version.
This is adorable. The production quality on this box is ridiculously awesome.
Yeah. We definitely wanted to have it be something that will sit on the shelf and right beside its big brother.
Yeah, big brother, little brother.
So,
I love that.
So it has the same magnetic clasp with 16 new cards for Onitama. And we have a couple cards shown here, the giraffe, panda, bear, and tanuki. I'm not gonna go into how Onitama really is played, but this expansion allows you to have a full separate set of cards that can be used exclusively, so you can just shuffle those up and use them as your cards, or you can shuffle them together and have a mix with the core games cards as well. So
I gotta say, like, the idea of tanukis and pandas, this is awesome. I love the animals that you guys picked for this one. It's really exciting.
We've been having a lot of fun with it. Onitama's been having great success, especially within the Dice Tower series, and we're excited for this expansion.
Great. And you were saying May?
May.
Okay, do you have an idea of what the MSRP is gonna be on it?
The MSRP is $12.99.
And that's for 16 new cards.
16 new cards.
And you still only play with 5.
Yes, you still only play with 5.
What's the math on that? What's the variations of gameplay that you get with just this expansion?
It's over 1,000 different variations.
That's awesome.
Spin the cards.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's upside down. They changed the camera so we can look at it. Well, we're so used to like trying to present and make things look beautiful. So now they're right side up. So now we have the panda, the bear, the tanuki, and the giraffe.
Yeah.
So 16 cards, $12.95.
$12.99.
$12.99. May.
Awesome.
Sensei's Path. Thank you. Should we scoop these up and talk about this big beast of a game you laid out?
Yes, and now we're going to look at our June launch. And this is Spoils of War. It's the first game that Arcane Wonders has done that is just an Arcane Wonders brand outside of Mage Wars.
Oh, wow.
So,
I didn't think, okay.
So this is the first just plain Arcane Wonders. It's not part of the Dice Tower Essentials line because it's actually designed by Brian Pope, our owner. And so basically everyone is a Viking warlord. And we are arriving back from raiding a village. And we've sacked it and we have all these treasures. So we're the Vikings. And now we have all these treasures and we have no way to split them up. So.
But you have a way for us to split them up.
The way to split them up is to play the game Spoils of War. So what we've done here is we have, based on the number of players, different treasure cards. And there's a set collection to this game where you are trying to get either partial sets, which is 3 of the same type, like 3 different weapons, which you have a partial set right here. If this was a different one as well, 4 of a kind is more points. So you're trying to get those as a Viking. So the way you get these cards is through a mechanic where you're bidding dice. So you go here, the treasure setup is the first step. Next you roll the dice.
This is so, okay, this is gonna kill the microphones, but this is awesome. All right.
So we roll the dice, and then each of us would secretly look at the dice. And in a mechanic where we...
Don't look, I'm gonna show the camera. Don't look, don't peek, don't cheat. Okay.
So basically, we're doing a liar's dice, pirate's dice type mechanic. If you're not familiar with that, what we're doing is bidding a quantity of dice as well as the face. So I'm the Viking chief, so I'd start the bidding. I can choose you to start or I will, but I will. So I'm gonna say I believe that there are 5 6s.
Okay.
Now you would have to go higher in the quantity of dice and or the dice face. So,
so
you can't go higher than 6, so you have to go to a 6 of something.
Well, can I say I think there are 7 6s in the game?
Yes, you could.
All right, I think there's 7 6s.
7 6s. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to challenge.
Okay.
Now this is where the game shifts from this, after rolling, after bidding, you now are at the place bets. So I challenged, you became the declarer.
Okay.
And in a multiple player game, this is 3 to 5 players in the base game, everyone then sides with either the challenger or the declarer.
Okay.
And they will do it secretly in the place bets. So you have a minimum of 5 that you must bet, but we would also place a bet.
Oh yeah.
So we'd secretly place our bets, and so let's say that was my bet, and
Okay. And then I place on my declare token?
you have, yeah.
Okay.
So we'd have our bets, and then it becomes the reveal bet stage. So
Okay.
everyone would reveal the dice, and I would say, I only have 2 6s.
Dope.
So there were only 5.
Oh.
So in this case, I would have won. Anyone who was the challenger would have won. And then you look at the bets. So assuming I had the highest bet, I would maintain being Viking Chief. If someone else had the higher bet, they would become Viking Chief, and they get first pick of the spoils. So the Viking Chief will take 3 cards, and then everyone else will take 2.
Okay.
Now, so basically, you have 2 different types of cards. You have the set collection cards, which are how you win the game. And then there are the cards that allow you to win the game easier. And
Okay.
these are artifacts.
I think I need some of those right now.
And the artifacts have abilities that are triggered, that some of them are re-roll dice. So after the fact, I could change a die face. Some of them are flip a die. Some are saying, you know what, I'm going to take your bid.
Yeah.
And so basically, you have different things that go around.
So
that
it
change
really
the game
messes
state.
and breaks kind of the
Yes.
core rules,
There are ones that
adding variability.
Yeah. Also,
Okay.
there are ones that bring in extra dice.
Okay.
So it changes the entire statistics of how many are being rolled. So, yeah, so these cards will change the dynamics of the game. These cards are the set collection, and then essentially you played 9 rounds of play.
And you count for points.
And then you count up the
Right,
bonuses.
so you have either your sets and then you
Yeah,
like
so
draft.
I'd
if I
take my so I'd get 3 because I won.
Gotcha.
Then if someone else won,
So if I
they'd
was in
take 2.
second,
If
or right, if I bid
then
with
you
you,
take 2. If you lose your money, which is a permanent loss.
Okay.
You can't get gold in any other way.
Oh, okay.
So it's also victory points in the game. So you have
Gotcha.
to be wary and wise with your bidding or betting, and then you also don't get to pick any treasures. So.
Okay, so if I was the declarer, though, could
Yes.
I have also? So I get to bet.
Yes.
I could have bet with you, even though I was the
No,
declarer.
you're
Okay.
betting for your
Gotcha,
side winning.
okay.
So.
Great. And so if I was a third player and I bet with you, I could have taken like the 2 jewelry and
Correct.
started working towards my own
Towards
set
your
of
own
that.
sets.
Okay, great.
Yep. And then basically the next pile goes, and then there are 9 total. So you then go from round 1 cards to round 2 cards.
Oh, that's
which
cool.
have a slightly higher gold value.
Okay.
So there is a natural mechanic where you can, even if you've lost in the beginning, you can come back in the end. So like for example,
It kind of escalates and lets you balance it out if you fall
this
too
is
far
like
behind.
round 1, round 2, and round 3.
Okay,
So you're
so from
getting
1
a
to 5
different
to 7.
distribution. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, and
So it sounds like it plays quick and it's really interactive and noisy and fun.
very
and-
noisy, very back and forth, a lot of in your opponent's heads, playing the betting of dice. There's rolling of dice, there's beautiful cups. And speaking
Yeah, these
of,
cups are these the production
these are
cups?
the
'Cause
production
these are
cups. They're hefty.
these are hefty, like firm plastic. Like that's
Yes.
pretty cool. These are hefty. These are awesome.
Yeah, and one of the things we're doing as a pre-order special is a golden cup.
Ooh, with
Just
sparkles.
has a little golden flecks.
It has like gold glitter in it. That's
yeah,
awesome.
it has gold flecks. It's a little golden cup just as a pre-order little
So if you pre-order through like either directly through Arcane Wonders or through your FLGS?
Yes.
Awesome.
So we're facilitating FLGS pre-orders as well as through Arcane Wonders so that we can give these out. And it would be 1 per pre-order.
Sure.
So-
So maybe the Viking Chief gets the special gold cup.
Yes.
Awesome. I love it. And you were saying this is your June release,
This is June.
and it's 3 to 5 players,
3 to 5 players, $39.99 MSRP.
and it comes with 5 of these little like,
5 of the cups.
chunky cups. That's
Yes.
awesome. So noisy. This is Spoils of War, designed by Brian Pope.
Yes, and Jason Medina.
Oh, right on. And from Arcane Wonders.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Anything else that you wanted to talk to us about today?
No, that's kind of what I want to save what's coming next because there's some exciting things, but we're talking like at that point we're getting into Gen Con.
Oh,
so
yeah, fair
I
enough.
want to not leak out too much before we really start going. We had some good press releases, and people already know about Viral coming down the road.
That's exciting.
So, yeah.
Well, we'll see how our Q&A session does over there. Well, thank you so much for coming,
No, I
Tony.
appreciate it.
Always a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
And we'll see if our YouTube commenters can pull out any other secret details from you up next.
Great. Yeah, thanks.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, with Arcane Wonders, and we will see you soon.
All right, so we're going to have Tony come on over here, and I'm going to arm wrestle him, see if I can get him to tell me some other things. Because you guys want to know, I want to know, I think I can take him. Let's find out.
What's going on?
Nothing you need to hear. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good.
All
How you
right.
been?
I am good. All right, so I believe I overheard you say you don't want to mention too much what's going on. The internet
Is
has a different idea of what's about to happen here. So they want to hear a little bit about some things.
Okay.
And I don't know if any of this has been mentioned already or not. But anyway, one of the questions I did have about the Onitama expansion is someone was asking if the cards were marked so you could separate the original cards from the expansion cards.
They are not marked.
Okay.
So there is no way, because we didn't want them to be distinct on when you're shuffling them in any fashion.
Okay.
So no, they do not have markings to distinguish them from the originals.
Okay. It is
but
16 in the original, 16
in
new
the
ones.
New ones, yes.
Okay.
And we will have those lists as well on
Okay.
our website.
Okay.
So
No problem. Okay. Someone was asking if there was a Royals expansion or expansions in the works. If that was something you guys were looking at.
right now we're not looking at a Royals expansion.
Okay.
We're it's not off of the possibility plate. It's just not something that's being actively worked on right now. The thing that is being actively worked on is Sheriff of Nottingham expansion.
Which was my next question anyway. So,
So-
what's the story with that?
It's coming out this year. So
I feel like I just lost that arm wrestling match.
So
that was it.
The Sheriff expansion is coming out this year. We've gotten files that we are looking at now. It's going to add a 6th player,
Okay.
but it's also going to have 3 separate expansions within.
So it's a modular kind of
so
expansion.
there are the Merry Men, there's the Black Market, there's Laws. There are different types of cards that can be played exclusively or without each other as well.
That's something. All right. I tried. Okay, and you mentioned up there Viral. That's coming up this year as well.
Yes, we.
There's artwork out there for that, and a little bit more information for that, right?
Mesa Board Games, we've got the English language rights to Viral, and we're bringing it out in the Dice Tower Essentials line. That's all been announced already. The overall of Viral is that it is a territory control. You're going for areas which are organs in the body. Your viruses infecting the body, and essentially you have to be careful where everyone's going, because if too many different viruses get in a organ, a crisis occurs, the immune system comes and wipes everyone out.
Okay.
So
Okay, that's clever. Got it.
yeah, so there's a lot there. We're definitely going to start talking more about Viral, because it's started to get some organic buzz.
I get it.
Since
Organic buzz.
Since we've started talking about it.
Did you get that?
Well, I'm
Fantastic.
not trying to make it happen. It's just happening, and everyone's like, "Hey, talk about Viral now," and I'm like, "That's
right,
Gen
very
Con."
cool.
No.
Awesome. Well, thanks, man. Good talking to you.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool. Good to see you. All right, let me get that mic off of you there. All right. Have we got whoever's next, guys?
We're waiting on Japanime.
All right. We are waiting.
Feeler to get them, but we haven't heard back.
Have we talked
Sent
about
out
those from last
a
night?
feeler.
I think so.
So now's a perfect time to ask Z Garcia anything you've ever wanted to know about Z Garcia.
What's your favorite
Come
shirt?
facilitate that.
Yeah, come here. It says,
All right, yeah.
come over here and
All right.
vamp with me.
All right. All right,
Well,
Z.
we,
Come on, Internet. You know, the man, the mystery, the myth himself.
Put a microphone on.
Here you go.
I'll just clip it to my hair. There we go. How's that working?
Probably bad.
Yeah, it's probably really
The
bad.
internet hates you right
Play
now.
last night. Did you go to game night?
Oh, I did go.
We did. Yeah, we played some games.
Why don't you come facilitate, Eric?
No, you sat down first.
Oh, son of a
All
nut.
right, let's talk about some of the stuff we played. Want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got to play Moons, the new trick-taking game designed by Robert Burke, coming out from Quick Simple Fun Games. I am a big fan of trick-taking games in general, and I really enjoyed Moons. It's got this interesting set collection thing. If you win a trick, you get to collect a little planet token. And then at the end of the game, you get points based on these sets of tokens that you have. There's a little more to it in what tokens are available for you to take at any given time. And of course, you can there are a few things that let you mess with your opponents as you're going, along with some really nice, smooth trick-taking play.
Aren't there some special action cards also in there?
There are asteroid cards, exactly right, that let you mess around with things as well. So Moons was really fun. I was surprised by that one. I only seen a couple pictures of it, so I was really happy I got to try that
I played
one.
a prototype of it at Essen, I think, and I liked it too. And I'm a big fan of trick-taking games also. I really liked the card quality of what I saw last night there, because the one I played, like I said, was a prototype. And the card quality in this one is really high.
Oh yeah, the production quality,
very,
and I thought
very
the
well done.
planet art and things like that was really pretty, and yeah, I really liked all that. How about you? Did you play much last night?
Well, I know we played actually a couple of games together over at the AEG booth or setup there, and I got to play Lovecraft Letter, which is love letter, Lovecraft letter. Puns are great.
Yeah.
And I was looking forward to it. I really like the artwork. It's got Vincent Dutrait artwork. Cards are nice and big.
The art was gorgeous, and they
it's like tarot-sized cards, so they look great. The game looks fantastic. The gameplay was, I wasn't sure what I was going to get. It's actually closer to Love Letter than I thought it might be, which is not bad. It's Love Letter. And it's got that insane mechanism going on, right? Where if you play an insane card, then from that point on, two things happen for the rest of that play, for the rest of that round. First thing is, before you play, you have to check if you go fully bananas, apparently, because you have to flip a card.
That's right, yeah.
And if that one's insane,
You're just done.
You're just out.
Yeah.
No, you knocked yourself out of the round. Okay, that's kind of weird, but okay. And then the other thing is that from now on, you trigger the crazy power on the card, which is neat. And there are two ways to win. You can get 2 sane points and win the whole game. And you can only get those if you win and didn't play any insane cards. Or you can get 3 insane points and win. So it's harder that way, but you have access to all these funky powers. And so I liked it. How did you feel about that one? I don't know what your feelings are on Love Letter anyway, but
I like Love Letter.
Yeah.
I don't love Love Letter. Like when it first came out, I was really big on
Like
Love Letter.
Letter.
But I like Letter. But I think that, as more games have come out and things like that, I kind of, it wasn't cool to the new anymore. I like the ideas behind Lovecraft Letter, and I really appreciate that they're still trying to push the formula, right? This is not just a reskin, and I really appreciate that.
Me too.
And even if it was just a reskin, it's a clever one that in a lot of ways still made sense as you were looking at it, and they did a really pretty production job on things like that. So, I mean, I think if you're into that mythos and you like the game, it's definitely, the production value is amazing on it, and so I think it's definitely worth looking at. We have a couple people that have asked about Renegade, and I will say we are talking to Renegade Games tomorrow on the live stream, and they will show off all the goodies from Alex Kevern and from Kane Klenko. If you've been looking online, they've got some good stuff coming up.
they
So
got
we'll talk
some
about it tomorrow.
great looking stuff too.
And I'm gonna go get set up over there
All right.
but if you wanted, somebody asked you about with your theater background, what's it like being in Las Vegas?
Why, Susan?
I didn't ask.
Go.
I didn't ask.
Go away.
Bring the microphone.
Oh, is that my mic?
Well, that's the guest mic.
Anyway, it's fabulous. I'm having a great time.
Fabulous.
Am I off?
No, not yet. How about that yellow monstrosity you're wearing there?
Yeah, I know. Well, look, here's the deal. I don't have that many shirts that have the collar and the branding. Should probably get some more, but I don't have that many. And so I figured I'm going to front load the ones I don't really want to wear. Get it out of the way. It's like when I eat a plate of food and there's like the piece of like pecan pie there, that's last. Right? You eat the other stuff first. You eat the best thing last.
Didn't you ask for the yellow shirt? It wasn't like I just bought you a yellow shirt.
Pretty sure it didn't ask for a bright yellow shirt.
I'm pretty sure I brought.
Have
in a
you
bunch of
seen
shirts.
the
Yellow
board
is
game?
your favorite color.
Have you seen the board game Blender?
This is why I got. Okay, I remember now. I got him yellow because he likes yellow.
In board game pieces, not like, you know.
So you'll make them wear yellow, but not you.
That's right.
On screen, it looks a lot brighter than it does right there.
It pops on the screen.
Yeah.
It says yield when I see it. It's on
So,
yield. It's just the
Z, did you use the wrench or the lead pipe in the conservatory?
My pack is
Am I mustard? Colonel Mustard? Is that what that was?
He must be talking about something.
Mustard. He must have heard that joke recently.
Oh, you made it
Must have
worse.
heard that joke.
All right.
Now, I didn't take it to a pun. I was just trying to make a board game joke.
Can we switch?
Yes.
Let's switch.
I already did once.
Get your name right. It's
not so
Joe from Arcane Wonders. Oh, we're on. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Hi, welcome back. We are at GAMA 2017 here in Las Vegas, and sitting next to me is Rich from Japanime Games. Welcome.
Hi. Hi.
And you've already got a beautiful game all laid out.
Yep.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about
Sure.
what you brought?
This is our newest game. It's going to be up on Kickstarter shortly and then be releasing this summer. It's based on the Sword Art anime series. So it's a deck, card, and dice building game. You play one of the characters from the main series, Kirito, of course, being the main character. And you're facing different challenges. As you face the challenges, you use the different dice pools to create your successes. If you get enough successes, you kill the monster before it hurts you. If not, it hurts you back, and then you move on to the next character. The object is, of course, just like the cartoon. You're trying to get to the top level and finish the game before everybody dies.
That's a good thing. Yeah,
Yep.
we like winning before we die. So what's going on up here then? We have
Up here, these are the challenges.
These are, what you're
These are your
climbing
different
up?
sections. Yep.
Okay.
You have the lower section, which of course are the lower level challenges. The middle section, which is what you're going to face mostly, and then you finally the upper section. Each challenge getting harder and harder to beat as you go. If you can defeat the upper section monster, then you can escape, and then everybody who's stuck in the game gets to be free and survive in the real world.
Thank goodness for that. And then it looks like each of the characters have you have a unique card for each of the characters.
Each character has their own sword styles. They also have some special abilities. And what happens is whenever you attack something, you pick your character, of course, and then you can choose another character to team up with you. So it's going to give you a total usually of 8 dice. And then you're trying to meet these goals that are listed here. And if you meet them goals, then you do that much damage in hit points. But you have other cards and card effects that can allow you to change the dice numbers up and down.
So yeah, what's going on with these square cards over there?
These are what you get for completing adventures.
Okay.
They end up being, for example, if people are familiar with the show, this is Yui. Yui ends up being Kirito's daughter. And has
It's anime.
yeah. But she starts out as like a player aid in the online game, and she becomes a real person.
Right.
And so they help modify your dice rolls to help defeat these to get the dice exactly the way you want. You get 3 chances to roll the dice. At that point, you try to match them up with the correct sword style, and if you can do enough damage before they do damage to you. Yep.
And so now, is this cooperative or competitive?
Cooperative.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's a
it's
fully
cooperative.
game. So you're helping each other out. You can team up with other players. There are
Yep.
definitely there's a lot of dice mitigation.
Yep.
There's a lot of dice mitigation, and sorry, there's a lot of dice mitigation, and how long does it play?
About 30 minutes.
Okay, so super fast.
Fairly
gameplay.
quick, yep.
And 2 to 4 players?
2 to 4.
Okay. And then you were saying that you were going to be kickstarting this.
Yep, we're going to be kickstarting, and I think in about a week we should be kicking the Kickstarter off. We're going to have this game plus a deluxe version, which is going to be foil cards. And the dice, these are just prototype. This is the real dice are actually going to have symbols engraved on them, including character portraits and stuff.
Oh, so you're going to have like fully
customized dice,
engraved
yeah.
dice.
Yes.
That's I love some custom dice, so that's exciting. And then do you know offhand what the kind of minimum pledge level will be to get a copy of the
25.
game? So $25.
25, yep.
And it comes with a bunch of custom engraved dice.
Yep.
And basically anybody who's a fan of the anime should definitely take a look at this.
Yep, and you got the movie coming out in theaters soon, so.
Oh, that's convenient. And then you were saying, I think earlier, that the Kickstarter goes up in a week and a half or so, and then when does the game actually hit the shores?
We plan to do a big release at Anime Expo in July.
That's a really fast turn. So basically, this is ready to go. So if somebody
Yep.
pledges, they won't have a huge long wait before you actually get a copy of the game.
Yeah, it's going to be satisfied very quickly.
That's awesome. Great. I noticed that you have another box over here. Did you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we
before
talked about this last year here. It's finally being produced. It should be releasing in May for players. This is the new Heart of Crown. We went with a completely different box than anything we've ever done. But the nice thing about it is it includes both expansions can fit in here. So once you buy all the cards, you have room for more stuff. Keeps all your cards, everything in one place. It's a deck building game based on the art is done by the artist from Maturian Odyssey.
Okay.
Which it's a DS game, very popular amongst anime fans. So all the art is drawn from that person. Great deck builder, lots of replay value.
Okay.
And should be out in less than 2 months.
Okay, so that's going to hit, because you kickstarted that one too, if I
Kickstarter, yeah.
recall.
Kickstarters will probably see theirs probably at the end of April, early May.
Okay, and then it's going to be in the market.
May, it'll be sent to retailers and distributors.
Great, and then how many players does that play?
2 to 4.
And what's the MSRP on that one?
MSRP is 50.
I love it. You knew you were just spot on with all the answers. That is awesome. Well, that's really exciting stuff. This looks wonderful. I can't wait to see the custom dice for that. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about while you're here?
No, I think that's our newest stuff. We have a whole bunch of new Japanese releases. We're not going to be doing Kickstarters, but you're going to see them probably summertime Gen Con release.
Okay, and so people should just kind of pay attention to your social media channels and things
social
like
media.
to see the new announcements?
Yep, and also look us up at cons. We do about 20 cons a year. So
I know you're everywhere.
Yep.
Ooh,
So.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for
no
coming
problem.
and taking time with
Yeah,
us. I hope you have a
thank you.
great show. Thank you very much, Rich from Japanime Games, and thank you everybody for watching. We will see you next time.
We good?
You are perfect.
All right.
Excellent.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for all the questions, by the way. Disappointed in you. They're right now discussing how to pronounce Japanime. That's what's going on. How you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you again.
All right. We don't have a whole lot of questions here for you, but I did want to ask you. You showed 2 products. The first one, what was the name of that again?
That is Sword Art Online.
Okay.
Board game.
And that's at least like a deck building concept.
Not deck building. It's more of a dice game with some card elements.
Okay. Is that based on something else or brand new product?
It's actually based on 8 Epics by Senji Kanai
Okay, there we go.
that AEG did.
So this
it has
is-
the basis of that.
Is it a
This was designed.
reprint of that, or?
This was designed specifically to fit the Sword Art Online storyline, but mechanically it works similar to 8 Epics.
Okay, so it's sort of a reworking follow-up, not 8 Epics.
It's not 8
Not
Epics
just a new
exactly. It's not
skin.
just our new skin. It actually uses different number of dice and different card
Gotcha,
effects and
that's-
stuff to customize to it.
And that's in here, right?
Yep. It's
Okay.
just our prototype that we were able to print up ahead of time.
And the concepts, though, for those out there that are familiar with 8 Epics, it's a similar concept, though. The idea of getting the sets ready, utilizing characters, the ones you have or the ones that are common,
Exactly.
right? All those concepts. Okay, very cool. Obviously, also from Seiji Kanai.
Yes.
Right. Now, the other game you were talking about,
Heart of Crown.
that's new. That is not based on something.
That's not. It's originally done in Japan. There's it's been done. I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago by Flip Flops,
Okay,
and we just did the English translation of it.
gotcha. But it hasn't been available except
In English, no,
Japanese.
not at all. Yeah.
Okay.
And in this style, never. You know, the packaging was more traditional, like lunch money, kind of
Right.
just small card game
Right.
production, where we've actually done counters and things like
Well, you
that.
said that you can fit expansions.
All the
and such
expansions,
in
yeah.
the
There's
one
actually
box.
2 expansions that are going to be due out the rest of this year.
Okay.
Coming, and then next year or in the fall, we're going to be doing a Kickstarter probably for the next group, which introduces a new starter set that allows you to play with up to 6 players.
Okay.
And then 2 expansions on that are available as well.
So the first 2 expansions, are they part of the Kickstarter?
They were part of the Kickstarter. If you backed it on the Kickstarter, you will get them, and you back that level, you will get them.
Got it.
But they will be releasing every 3 months after the release of the game.
Okay, got it. And now you said you had, besides these, some plans for later on in the year. What's the rest of the year look like for you guys?
Very
besides
busy.
expansion for
Very
that?
busy.
Yeah.
We have a Nomura game. We have a Terrible Girl Disorder, which is, again, these are all mostly Japanese games. Terrible Girl Disorder, which is a kind of an emo girl.
Terrible
You've lost
Girl Disorder.
Yeah, you've lost your way, and you don't know who you are, so you're trying to figure out what your identity is. And whatever identity is, you have the most cards of, and you draft around the table trying to get. That's how you score victory points. It's very dark, very emo. And we also have a Clockwork. It's Clockwork Empire, I believe it's called, and it's going to be a game, a anime steampunk combination.
Is that based on something I'm not
Again,
familiar with?
Japanese. No, it's just an original title from Japan that we're translating.
Not based on a comic
We
or
also have
a
another-
manga or something I'm not familiar
Nope.
with? Okay.
It's based on a genre that
Okay.
exists. We also have from Senji Kanai. We have the God's Gambit, which was out a couple years ago. They did a small Kickstarter. Didn't really have a lot of
Not familiar
leeway,
with that
but we're
one.
redoing that
Okay.
with ArcLight, the one who we partner with like our Tanta Quarry games, and that's going to be later this year. It's kind of a fun Uno style game with a lot of backstabbing and a little darker theme where you're gods trying to get your karma back.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, you guys are, you're definitely, you're tapping that Japanese card game market and bringing those over, and that's what you'll continue to do. Very cool. I'm glad I got a little bit more out of you on this side of the table here. Thanks for chatting with
no
me
problem.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Do we have any questions or anything?
I think that's it, unless someone wrote something in here. Let's see. I don't see anything else for you. Is there anything else you want to tell us?
MSRP is 25 on the
Okay.
Sword Art Online. The deluxe is going to be 35, and then Heart of Crown is 50, with the expansions being 20 each.
And those are Kickstarter prices, right?
Well, they're Kickstarter or
Yeah,
retail
right.
MSRP.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else here. If there's nothing else you want to share, I think we are good.
That's good.
Yeah. They're discussing pronunciations.
Okay.
It's the internet, man. They do their own thing.
All
All right, cool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
talking
we'll
to
see you
you.
later.
All right, you got it.
If you guys need any art or any resources or whatever, just let me know. Okay?
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
You got it. All right, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're still vamping. All right, come
We're
on.
vamping. I want to sit down. We haven't chatted
Put the
yet.
mic on.
So is that the only game you played? You played Lovecraft Letter, and you played. Did you play the
played the
card
trick-
crafting game?
Yeah, I played the ladder climbing one. I forgot what it's called. Suze, what's that game called? The card crafting one?
Mystic Veil?
Well, it's based on the. It's the
the
card
new one.
crafting of Mystic Veil.
Heroes,
Hero Builder, Hero
something like that. Oh, crap.
It was something custom heroes, yeah.
Custom Heroes.
Custom, that's it, I think. Custom Heroes. Yeah. And it's basically a ladder climbing game like the Great Dalmudi, like Gang of Four, whatever. That's what it is.
Okay.
You play 2 1s, and then you got to play 2 1s or better. So you play 2 5s, and the
Okay.
next person has to play 2 5s or better, and so on.
But then how does the card?
There's no runs
crafting-
in it. It's just sets. The card crafting part comes in when it's my turn. I've got some of those blank or pseudo transparent slates there.
Right.
I can add those into a card, which is going to modify it somehow, and I can throw that out there. Some of them are powers, like once you play this, you reverse play. Some of them actually affect the number in the card. So it'll be like for example, at one point I was playing, someone played 2 8s, I think, and I had no pairs, but I had an 8 and a 6, and one of my modifications was a +2. So I put that in the 6, and I threw out 2 8s. One of them now is an 8.
So you're making these modifications sort of on the fly. Like
Right.
it comes back around to you, and you go, oh, well, I really don't have a good move right now, but somehow I've acquired these.
Right, you actually just get
Transparencies
some
that I-
dealt at the beginning of each hand.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's interesting because there's a little system of sort of manipulating and managing your magic, I guess, where if you play a card, sometimes you have to pay for that power that's printed on it, and you'll spend some tokens and trigger that power. If you play one of those modified cards and don't trigger the power, you'll make one of that magic, one magic back. You'll bank one.
Okay.
And then later on be able to pay it back out for whatever power you want. The other interesting thing is that just like every trick-taking and ladder climbing game, you'll play multiple hands. And so any changes you make to the deck stick around for the next hand.
So you've added that +2.
That's right. So there is one fewer 6 and one more 8 in the deck now.
Huh.
And so that was the main idea. It was a really simple game. And that with just that one layer on top of it, this idea of the deck will change. The more you play, the more it will change.
Well, I was also at the AEG table and played the new Starship simulator, which is called The Captain is Dead.
Right.
It's got like a map of a Enterprise-style spaceship. There's the bridge, and there's engineering, and a cargo hold, and everybody's got roles. And there's different classes of roles, and also different versions of that particular class. So there's an admiral. I played the janitor, the space janitor.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'm a big fan of Roger Wilco from the Space Quest series, so I grabbed that immediately. I was the janitor, so they all have special powers, a certain number of actions, etc. And then there's a big old deck of nasty stuff that's going to happen. You're trying to repair the communications array. I think that's right. And if you manage to do that, you can radio for help and get out of there. Or, no, you're trying to. It's not the communication. It's the warp drive. You fix the warp drive.
Fully cooperative.
Fully cooperative, and you play in the order of your rank. So if you're like the admiral or something, you're going to be number. I was definitely last. And each turn, one of these nasty cards is going to come up. But if you have external sensors and internal sensors active, you get to see what's coming up. But some of these cards will destroy the sensors. And now all of a sudden, all of that's secret, and you're just flipping something up off the top of the deck. Same with, there's a communications array. If the communications array gets knocked out, you can't talk unless you're in the same room with another player. There's a teleporter to let you move around the ship, but if that gets blown up, now you have to walk from place to place. Increased gravity makes it harder to move around the ship. So you're faced with the decision of, do I deal with this threat that's making life more difficult, or am I spending resources to fix the engines? And we didn't do that enough. We blew up. Ships are shooting at you, and your shields are going down.
It's so amazing to me the amount of cooperative games that come out every year. I mean, it used to be that you did not have to ask that question. Like, is it a cooperative game or competitive? It used to be, if it was cooperative, you'd find out about it.
You'd know very
immediately, because they were like, this is a game where you all work together. What? Now you have to ask. And you're just as likely to get one answer as the other, it seems.
It seems like
there are so many co-op games.
It just seems more likely that if, it's all thematic. It's actually unusual if you were presented with a theme like this. The ship is going to blow up, and you need to escape it. And then somebody says, by the way, it's competitive, and one of you is going to get the promotion to captain.
Right. That's the rare case.
That would be odd in this particular circumstance.
I mean, I definitely would throw the space janitor out. If we're all, there's nothing to clean if we're all scrambling for our lives.
Well, I guess if everything's on fire, it's hard to keep things clean.
Right.
Yeah. But he was really good at repairing things.
Like a space broom.
Well, no. He could fix the warp drive. He could use his actions instead of because you have resource cards. It's set collection basically. So in order to fix the warp drive, I'd need 5 engineering cards and 3 actions.
Okay.
And I could spend actions as wilds, which was kind of cool. Yeah. It was fun. I enjoyed the art design is very clean, sort of sparse.
It's got a pretty stark look to it.
Yeah, it's got a stark
I just saw
design.
you guys playing it on the other side of the table, and
but it was fun.
The box art is very eye-catching
and challenging. It's certainly one that things get bad very quickly. At first, you're thinking, this is easy. I'm not going to have any trouble with this, and then just everything just goes to heck. And so,
was there anything there last night that you saw, didn't get a chance to play, but caught your eye and you're looking forward to trying it?
Well, the one thing that I didn't actually see last night but saw today is the new Fireside cooperative game, Hot Shots.
Yeah,
the
firefighters.
That just seems like something that would really appeal to me.
Yeah.
The variable map setup and running around, and I especially like the sort of goaltending aspect to it. So each player has their ability, and if if the radio tower goes down and gets scorched and burns down, obviously your radio tower dependent ability isn't going to work anymore.
Right,
So you, in addition to protecting your own home base, you also need to save the zones that make you a unique individual in the game.
Well, it's
which
like
is kinda
that
cool.
the captain is dead
Yeah.
concept, where
Right.
if this is gone, you can do that.
Right.
Yeah, it looks good. I had not really heard much about it. I'd seen the cover, but yeah, from listening to his overview today, that sounds right up my alley. I think I'd enjoy
Yeah.
that. The one I saw, I haven't played, but immediately catches my eye, and I've been aware of it. I just hadn't seen a close-up look of it. Was Wasteland Express, which has the post-apocalyptic,
Yeah.
punk-looking post-apocalyptic look to it.
Yeah.
And it's got
Mad
the
Max
yeah,
style.
yeah. It's very comic book Mad Max, though, which I like. It's very eye-catching. That sounds exciting. Whether the gameplay is going to be for me, I'm not sure. The gameplay sounds like it's right up your alley. It's a pick up and deliver
it
game.
is, yeah.
But man, I love that theme, and I love the setting, the bits, the artwork. I really hope I like it, because wow, does it look good.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But yeah, that's one that at some point I got to give it a shot, because I don't know. That theme is, I find, underutilized. The steampunk, the post-apocalyptic
Yeah. The dystopia.
thing. Yeah. There's
fighting-
a couple. There's a few.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're going to keep coming, because Mad Max Fury Road was a hit. Mm-hmm. They'll start coming out, I'm sure, but I don't know. It seems weird. It's hard to find post-apocalyptic without it being, say, zombie
Yeah.
apocalypse
And I will be very disappointed if an expansion adds zombies to that game.
or Cthulhu.
Yes. Don't.
If the world
he doesn't-
ended
You don't need
because
him
of
everywhere.
tentacles. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that game does not need that. Sure.
You don't. It's just, you can have dystopian battle future in a desert without adding zombies. You are allowed.
I recently played and reviewed Saltlands, which is post-apocalyptic, and that one avoids that whole thing, and actually finds an interesting setting too. That it's not the wasteland of some city; it's the oceans dried up, and you are on the
Okay.
seabed, of a dried up ocean, which is cool. It's
Yeah.
it's still ultimately the same concept, but you have taking these land sails, these like rigs
And sales. Nice.
through the bottom of a dried ocean.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're surfing the sands basically.
Huh.
And I like that they still did the whole post-apocalyptic thing and just slightly different theme.
Yeah, it's good to have something that stands out
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
There was another game that I played last night that I want to make sure I get the title right, so that's why I'm looking on my phone. I'm not ignoring you, really. It's not what I'm doing.
We're
It's
used to it.
It's a new Doctor Who game from Cubicle 7, and I was sort of hovering and caught my eye for sure. It is called Doctor Who. Where did you go? That's not what it's called. Doctor Who Time Clash. That Doctor Who Where Did You Go is not a bad idea. Doctor Who Time Clash is the name of the game. It's basically a two-player game, but you can play it as a partnership game. One player, at least in the base box, one player or set of players is the Daleks, and one is the Doctor and his companions.
Okay.
And then there's like arcs, so 3 arcs that make a circle, and they can be swapped out with locations and bad guys and companions.
Okay.
So you've got a ton of different setups and variables, and they even have like a rating system that tells you whether it's balanced toward one side or the other.
Oh, so it's
if there's
got
a particular
handicapping there. You can okay.
If there's like a really strong villain, you can put him in with not so strong companion and location, and it tips the
Gotcha.
balance toward evil, or
Gotcha.
vice versa, which is kind of neat.
I like that.
It's basically locations that you're playing cards to. So you have a hand of cards that have different strengths, and you're playing them to these different arcs. And the bad guys, the Daleks, are trying to get 1,000 points of threat, which is one particular type of card, on any one of the zones. And then the Doctor is trying to get 800 points of anything on any of the zones. And then you get to start a an end game gambit.
Okay.
So you have to sort of finish it all up and go into this different gameplay segment, and that's where I started to lose it. I don't know whether it was the jet lag, the travel, the lateness of the hour, but I started to. That's where it fell apart for me.
Did it become a different game at that point?
The rules, like, you have this nice clean system, and then there were special rules for changing the game and playing this gambit thing, and the Daleks total didn't add up. Like, it was 1,000 points of threat, but they have other types of cards that didn't count toward that total.
Okay.
And so then counteracting those cards, which one do I counteract? It started to get really muddy all of a sudden, and I was disappointed that it didn't click for me. Like, it should have been easier to jump into that.
Interesting.
So I don't want to shun it completely yet.
Right.
It may have just been my comprehension of the whole thing, but it worries me that I couldn't have picked it up at that point. That there were enough hurdles and speed bumps in the whole system that I don't know. We're gonna figure it out.
I always find it a little bit challenging when a game has one of those concepts where right near the end of the game, lots of things change. I have that issue with Elder Sign, for example, where the game is basically the same thing the entire game, and then at the end, if the great old one wakes up, then things radically change. So I just hope he doesn't wake up. You know what I mean? I just hope I'll die or he'll, or I'll kill him before that, because then you have to do the whole like, okay, wait, he wakes up now, rule book, and several things change. That final showdown in many games, where they really turn that game on its head, can be kind of tough for me.
Yeah, and if it's different, if it's significantly different from the base, the regular part of the game, especially if it doesn't always happen. That can be like what happens in Alien Encounters. Legendary Encounters, the Alien game. What happens when a player becomes an alien?
That's right.
I don't know what happens when a player. It's something that's never encountered, that I've never run into, and it's probably interesting, but I don't know because it's never happened.
Right.
Anyway.
Exactly.
Our next guest is here, so I have to leave and deliver this mic.
All right, you
to
do
him.
that.
So,
Thanks, everybody. Let's throw it back to the table. Dun, da, da.
This interview is
Short?
yes.
Okay.
Because Asmodee is supposed to start at 2.
Okay.
So
Which is good. I've actually played these games, so I'm very familiar with them, so we can make it. Yeah.
they keep it 10 minutes. It would be nice.
Perfect.
8 maybe. So that
2
we have
hours of your time in Origins.
Okay.
So
we can figure out what we're going to play and what we're going to play.
exactly. I didn't do it with an agenda, but I kind of have an agenda now. So I'm excited. So
Now I'm scared.
Do you guys still want me to do, like, I just do the intros? Like, GAMA 2017, do you still need to do all that? Yeah. Okay, no, it's good. I just wasn't sure if it was too repetitive for you guys. Okay.
This one will be edited into its own.
That's what I figured, so. Okay. Perfect.
doesn't matter where my hands are. I never know
No,
what to
because I might
do.
actually, because we have about 8 minutes, so we can pull out a couple of the cards and stuff, but we'll make sure that
Hold on,
once
you know what we should do? Make sure the ugly stuff is like not on top, like a little extra bag and
Yes.
crap
Good.
all like that.
So you can even push one off and then start with one, but just make sure when they're off screen, they're completely off.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise it distracts from the game that you're talking
Well,
about.
I'll let you guide that.
Yeah, sure, and I'll
you know
just
what I
pull
mean?
them over when we're done talking
Yeah,
about them. Yeah,
perfect.
that's fine, you'll be fine. I'm like a pro now.
Man, break out like, and here I am, like the big time. Break out, help me break out.
Exactly. It's awesome.
Almost there, just a second.
Yeah. Nice. Grand Gamers Guild. That's good to know. There's like a
Oh, okay.
yeah, so while we're sitting here, they're getting everything ready so when we're on screen and show the logo and all of your information on the screen.
Awesome.
Which is
This is
quite the setup, I know.
crazy. Very, very impressive.
You are good.
Okay. So welcome GAMA 2017 with the Dice Tower. I'm Mandy, and we are here with Mark Spector of Grand Gamers Guild.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm so excited that you're here today. So we're going to get right into it. What are we looking at today?
Well, what we have here is the very first game to come out of the guild called Unreal Estate. It is a set collection drafting with a little bit of push your luck type of game where you are working to gather different types of houses and then score them at just the right moment so you steal the scoring opportunity from your opponents.
This was super fun. I really enjoyed this when we played this at Breakout.
Yes, I was very lucky to run into you at Breakout,
great.
thanks to Mike Primo, and he sat us down to a table, and you were kind enough to go through everything with me. Should I take it out
Show us
and show
exciting
off
stuff.
what we have
Yes,
going on?
I really enjoyed this.
So the game was designed by Jason Slingerland, and it has the art by an artist who is new to the game industry. Her name is Corinne Roberts. She is a woman I've met at a show I used to be a part of, and her art is just, I mean, it's unparalleled in my opinion. But basically, there'll be a proposal board. We're not setting that up right now, but there'll be a proposal board where you collect sets of cards, and then you match them against the scrap to score them. And player at the end with the highest score wins. It's really that simple. It's 15, 20-minute filler. A lot of times people play the game and then they go, oh man, I get this now.
Right.
Let's play again. And that's pretty much the highest compliment that one can ask for, is to say, let's play again.
And we had a card come out, I know, when we played that kind of wiped everything.
Yeah, the very, very evil Dark Castle. Definitely the Dark Castle. Approach with caution. I would almost say that maybe keep it out of your first game ever.
Okay.
So just because it can be so, it can wreak havoc with the scoring and the momentum of the game.
Exactly.
But after you have played it and you can prepare for it, it's not so bad to throw it in there and let it do its thing. But yeah, there's actually lots of special cards. Not sure which pile they're in, but these are part of the Gothic Estate expansion. Again, all artwork of Corinne Roberts, but just really, really stylized, really amazing. Super lucky to have her. And yeah, it was on Kickstarter. We blew things out of the water, and it's had some communication with the manufacturer in China today. And it's in process, should have it in a month, get it out to Kickstarters, and then have it in time for Origins.
Oh, fantastic. So when is it officially in stores and you can buy it?
Well, the street date officially is June 2017, just to be in concert with my time at Origins. I will be an exhibitor there in the entrepreneur area.
Okay.
Because it is my first year being an actual full-blown publisher. But obviously got to be, thank you, got to be honorable to my Kickstarter backers and get it in their hands first.
Absolutely, and I'm sure they'll be very happy.
Yeah,
that
this
you
is
said
just
that.
the proof. This is just the proof. No one else has a copy other than this one here.
No, it's really good, and I really enjoyed that some of the symbols on the cards were easy to read, like if you had the hand, you know what to pick up, and so and I think you had lightning on one or something to that effect that you knew you had to do right away.
Some of the other special cards, like the
right.
Druid Circle, is a lightning effect card that as soon as it gets revealed, it has its effect.
So that's good for people like me. I actually need aids like that, so I thought that was really thoughtful.
That was actually something that came out of once we had released it into the wild, and people were saying, when exactly do these cards go off? Right. So, we'd had these special cards built into the game, and then it became apparent that there were things that needed to happen at particular times. So we added those in, and now it all flows nice and smooth.
Well, you listen, so feedback is
great. Exactly.
Okay, awesome. So this one, great game. I played it, a lot of fun.
Thank you. And you also played the next one as well.
Yes, so, this was a doozy for me.
Yep. This one almost couldn't be more different than Unreal Estate. This is called Stroop.
Yes.
And whereas Unreal Estate is, like I said, a little bit push your luck, a little bit nasty when you steal that score out from underneath someone. Stroop is a real-time speed game where you are working to get rid of all your cards before the other players.
Right.
And as you can see, whereas Unreal Estate is like all art all the time, Stroop is words on cards. And the Stroop effect is a real thing. It's the mental hiccup that when you see, for instance, the word yellow written in red, your brain tries to reconcile that.
Yes.
And so the goal is to get rid of all your cards. Everyone gets 15 cards to start. And then the round starts, and for instance, in the first round, I would have to play a card that's yellow if this was out. And so if I played hollow onto it, now I have to play a card that's hollow. So I might play little. And now we're all racing to do this simultaneously on the same pile. And as you saw, I mean, I think you were laughing, bigger and bolder than anybody, because your brain has to kind of click into place.
It does.
And then you figure out what's going on, and then the round ends.
Yes.
And then you go to the second round, which turns everything on its head and makes your brain hurt a little bit more.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, and that's Stroop, and it actually has here, even in the box, an expansion built in. If you feel you have mastered the four-dimensional with the two different font types and the number of letters and the colors, you can actually move on to, where is it here? Maybe it is in the other pile. There it is.
Okay.
The cards that actually appear backwards and forwards, making things just a little bit more difficult.
Right. Oh
So-
my gosh, so we didn't play with those.
No, we did not play with those. You
We
really,
barely got
there
by
was
the
enough
first
of a
bit.
challenge with 4 new players trying to get through just the 4 dimensions of the base words before we turn things even turn the knob even further.
Right.
Up to 11, as they say.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's for the advanced player.
Yeah.
Not I.
So that's Stroop, and again, it's designed by Jonathan Chaffer, a guy local to me in Grand Rapids. He's a whip clever kind of guy. He is unbelievable. He designs puzzles, and I'd never seen anything done game-wise with an actual psychological, phenomenon known as the Stroop effect.
Right. No, which is great, because I know I've seen games like Anomia, which is the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see playing that or something different.
Yeah.
So I think it's excellent. And this one is available?
This one is on the same time frame, actually being printed simultaneously with Unreal Estate, be released officially at Origins 2017. However, both are available for Kickstarter follow-up pre-order at the website right now, grandgamersguild.com.
Okay.
And and we'll get that out to the backers before the show.
Perfect. And what's, player count and time?
Oh, well, both of these games can play 2 to 5. You really add in a 5th player when you add the expansion to Stroop. And they're both filler style games, so 15, 20 minutes. Again, this is a game where people do often like to play multiple rounds because they suddenly kind of get it and they're like, oh my gosh, I could do this. I could do better.
Exactly.
And then you do get better at this. Your brain gets in. I mean, you guys did this.
I did. I was really hesitant, but then I really started getting the cards out after.
Yep.
So you do pick it up after a while. So it's
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and it's fun when you get 4 people around who have played multiple times and they know what's going on. And then it's like Spoons where they say, no jewelry, clip your fingernails because we're gonna go hardcore and try to not injure one another.
Very exciting. I really enjoyed this one. Really good for the brain burn.
Yeah.
So,
It'll stave off all those old age diseases by keeping you sharp.
Agreed. I mean, everyone can play this, so I thought that was really nice. So thank you so much for showing that to us.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me.
That was great.
I really
And I was glad I got
appreciate
to play these, so at least I could, talk a bit more.
Yeah, that
about it
worked
with
out
you.
really, really well. I
So-
couldn't have planned that better.
Yeah, that's awesome. So thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. My
and
pleasure.
We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
All right.
Yay,
That was
nice
fantastic.
job.
Thanks. Hopefully, I have a tendency to talk.
No,
really
you were great.
fast, so
Honestly,
hopefully.
you were good.
All right.
Sorry, I just
One
gotta
day I'll
put
be a
this
pro
here.
like Bonacor. That guy is.
He just goes.
Grand Rapids, Michigan or Minnesota?
Michigan. So
in
yeah.
Kalamazoo.
I know you are. I know you are.
Here, I can help you tidy it up. So they'll bring you over for Q&A. I kind of just put these in here, but
Yeah,
you
no
may
worries.
have
I'll
to
sort
tidy them
it
up
a
a
little
little
better.
bit. Yeah.
Not a problem. When I was involved with the convention I was a part of, I actually had wanted you to, guest up there, but I never really got a hold of you and tried to make it happen. But then obviously Tom and Z came, and actually you guys are coming again. Yeah. So. Come on.
Here,
what?
you know what? If
The
you go
bags.
ahead in there, and then we'll get it all straightened out.
Oh,
for you.
all right, cool.
Yeah,
I
go
appreciate
ahead.
it.
Yeah,
Thanks.
No problem.
Oh, and I got to make sure I don't.
Bring that Stroop game over here.
Oh my
I will bring Stroop over here.
Okay, so bring that one with you.
Play.
Sure,
and
sure.
I'll tidy this.
Thanks, Mandy.
I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna Stroop it out. All right. How you doing, Mark?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I am good.
Thrilled is how I am to have smooshed my way in here as a.
Do we have anyone standing by the way?
Currently no.
Like standing by right now, ready to go?
Ludi Labs
we
is going
go.
to be here in a second.
Okay, when they get here, that's fine. I wanted to ask you actually about the company name and the logo. It's very interesting. Where'd the name come from? How did you get this logo?
Sure, okay.
What's the concept behind it?
Right. So I really like the idea of a guild. The idea that you kind of, back hundreds of years ago, there were guilds, right? I lived in Belgium for 4.5 months, and if you go into the Grand Place in Belgium, there's all these old buildings that were guild houses. And, you got access, you got behind these doors and you got the secrets. If you were a cobbler or a metalsmith or whatever it was you did, you were in the club, so to speak, you're in the guild, and you had access to the secrets of that world. Well, I like the idea of mystery, secrecy, initiation, and the idea that, if you become part of the guild, if you are excited about our brand and you're enthusiastic, you're part of the club. You're unlocking the secrets of our games. We do put a little bit of mischief into our games. If we have astute readers out there, once they get their games, if they're carefully paying attention. They might see some stuff in the rule book or on the box, taking them to certain places that someone who isn't carefully observing might not find. In terms of the actual logo, I give full 100% amazing credit to Chris Kirkman of Dice Hate Me Games and Greater Than Games and Primal Nexus and all the things that he does. He was instrumental in bringing both Unreal Estate and Stroop to life, both because of his industry experience, his Kickstarter experience, and his graphic design experience. And I kind of told him what I was looking for in terms of a logo, and he played around with that a bit, and he said it just wasn't working. And then he presented this to me, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. I love the fact that he made it into a woman. That to me was truly remarkable, and I just fell in love with the image, and we were full steam ahead. And what's also really cool about the logo and the simplicity of the costume is I actually have a very good friend and my digital marketer. We have purchased a short cloak, and we have purchased a mask, and I'm going to have people cosplaying my mascot at the convention.
Cool. Okay.
And
that works.
along the whole line of a little bit of mystery and a little bit, she'll be there with a little satchel, and if you approach her and say, "Hey, what's up?" maybe you'll walk away with a little something extra.
That's very cool. It is a really good looking logo. It's
Thanks.
Sharp. It's clean. I wanted to ask you about the name, which is good. I mean, it's not forgettable.
Right. I appreciate
and
that.
the logo,
Yeah, and I mean, as I said during my Kickstarter, the people who supported me during that, they weren't just supporting a game; they were, intentionally or unintentionally supporting the building of a company.
Right.
And I really, there's certain companies out there, I mean, who people want their games. They look for their games. They're waiting for their releases. What's coming next? I mean, you have to, in my opinion, if you want to be a successful business person, you need to kind of build that brand, and that's what I hope I'm doing with the guild.
I got a question in here. Okay. What is it, Sam? What's the question? There it is. What's it like being a new publisher in the industry? Do the other publishers play pranks on you?
Well, I have not been pranked as yet.
But that is an interesting question. What's it like to be a new publisher?
Yeah, being brand
in the
new.
industry. Yeah.
Well, first of all, again, I give a lot of credit to all the people who've come before me. I unintentionally, having the demo team and the convention, I volunteered for Origins for many years. I saw a lot go on. I was building a lot of credibility with a lot of folks before I even intended to be a publisher,
right.
Which served me really, really well. But really, it's just kind of watching the people who you think are successful and trying to emulate them without copying them. Right. Who do I want to be? I want to be an organization that people are looking for what's next. People are enthusiastic about the brand, in whatever shape that comes. I've put out 2 small games. My next game coming out, called Pocket Ops, is going to be a micro game, which I know is kind of a fad that has sort of had its time, but I feel, and I'm biased, that this is a micro game that's a little bit different than what's come before. It's not just 18 cards bluffing game. No disrespect to anyone who's put out those games. There are a lot of fantastic ones. And then after that, I'm going to have my first big game, which is going to be a co-op called Endangered, about working together as conservationists with different roles trying to save endangered species. So, I mean, I have a direction, I have a plan. It's just a matter of trying to, get it all to the table, both figuratively and literally. So, and then again, like I said, watching people who I think do it right and trying to emulate them.
Right. Let's see if there's anything else. They're loving the Stroop name, apparently. They keep going with the, ain't no Strooping us now.
That's been going for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's funny.
There's no stupid questions.
And there's always, everyone always says Stroop, there it is,
Yes, exactly. Stroop, there it is.
So, I'll have to have like a little army of people going through the convention center, raising their hands up and going.
There you go. Wearing the outfit.
Yeah, why not? Led by my mascot, who we don't have a name for. At some point, I'll probably launch some sort of an internet-based contest to name our mascot. She's just kind of anonymous right now.
Well, that kind of works for her too, though.
That's true. A little bit of incognito.
You don't know who she is.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
Stroop, baby.
So I will say this though, since I have an audience, I'll put this out there.
Audience.
I don't officially have someone to wear the costume at Gen Con. So for anyone who's out there who wants booth time and is willing to put on the costume in exchange for helping sales and a couple free games, grandgamersguild.com, shoot me an email.
All right. Cool. Awesome. Good talking to you, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you having me.
Thanks for coming by. All right, I was hoping to get a little quick Stroop play there, but they're ready to go over there, so we're gonna let that one go. Let me get that mic off of you. I'll have to Stroop it up later.
Yes, we will have it available tonight. So.
What?
Do I need to start a Stroop club? Is that a thing?
Stroop, yeah. We should have a Stroop, the Stroop club.
All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for stopping by, man. Okay, I'm gonna throw it over.
Don't Stroop, believe in.
Don't go strooping my.
I won't go strooping your heart. Don't go strooping my. Don't go strooping my. I won't go strooping your heart.
Facing upward, you can turn it.
Am I still on or are they on?
But you're about to be.
Oh man.
On the shot, do we need to scoot any which way, or are we good as far as?
Maybe both of you scoot just an inch.
Scoot a little bit this way.
Okay.
All right, and good to go as soon as Sam gets.
As soon as Sam gives us the okay. It's getting later in the afternoon. We're starting to. Stroop a doop, stroop a doop, stroop a doop a doop a doop.
It's gonna be a thing for today till I forget about it. I guess that first one and the other. I'm drinking off that, forget about it.
I'm looking at the consternation on his face. We have this nice template with everybody's logos on it, so we're talking to right now, and things got a little wonky. Hey, we have the signal to be good. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome back to Las Vegas for the Dice Tower's coverage of the GAMA Trade Show 2017. I'm Eric Summerer, here with one of my favorite mad geniuses of board gaming, Andy Looney.
Hi there.
From Looney Labs. You have a whole pile of stuff to show us.
I do.
Where should we begin?
Well, I just have to start with Pyramid Arcade because Pyramid Arcade is the greatest thing I've ever made, and I'm so proud of it, and I could spend hours and hours talking about it, but I at least have to give it an introduction.
You have to show it off.
And it is the newest thing, well, mostly. The newest thing is out. It came out in November.
Yes.
Although it is the culmination of more than 20 years of work and various versions of the game that have gone into this. But this is an incredible box set with 22 different games and everything you need to play all of them, which all use these beautiful gaming pyramids that we've been developing and playing games with for such a long time. They come in 3 sizes and 10 colors, and you get 90 of them in this box. And now they come with a beautiful tray that's just fun to even put them away.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, you get all the other equipment you need for all 22 of those games. And we're talking a huge range of different types of games. Easy games, complicated games, strategy games, luck games. There's even a dexterity game in here. And I just could not be more proud of it. It comes with a comprehensive rule book with details on all of the different games and even ideas for inventing your own games.
Nice.
And yet further games that you can look up rules for on the internet. There is so much value and fun packed into this. It comes with 3 different decks of cards, including one that is a selector set that has details on each of the different games. Because sometimes the hardest part is deciding which of these games you want to play.
Right.
You're walking around the arcade going, they all look fun. Which one should I put my quarter in?
Exactly.
So here, this helps you decide that. You can kind of narrow it down based on, well, we only have 2 players, so take out all the games that aren't for 2 players.
Right.
And then that might give you a pile, and then you could say, well, let's just play all of them in turn, or let fate decide. We'll play this game next. And so you get all kinds of other stuff. Little boards, big boards, these beautiful plastic boards, a double-sided board for 2 other games in there.
Wow.
9 different dice. even a Starship Captain sticker for when you're, because a Starship Captain is our name for someone who knows 10 or more of these games. So we assume you'll meet that by the time you get through the game.
You can then recognize other Pyramid Arcade aficionados by spotting the sticker.
Well, and the whole idea with the Starship Captain thing is that two Starship Captains, when they meet, can say, well, what game do you want to play with the pyramids? And they'll have a list of their favorites. And they can say, well, I want to play Homeworlds, and then that's the one they'll play. That's my personal favorite.
That would be the one you choose.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. Even a beautiful little turn token there.
Wow.
There's so much goodness in this set. It's incredible.
This is a box of fun right here.
It is. This box will keep you entertained forever.
Wow.
So I could carry on about this set
but you have other
for
things,
a long time, but there's other things to talk about.
There's so many things
There's
to
so
discuss.
many other things coming along the line. So, of course, we're the Flux people.
Yes.
That's our biggest claim to fame and our biggest hit. Just yesterday, I guess, or a couple days ago, we brought out Math Flux.
Yes, I had a chance to play this one. This is
How'd
a
you
good
like
time.
it?
I liked it. I like the so the part of the idea is that the keepers are numbers.
Right, exactly. So
and
you have
you're
numbers.
Trying to get combinations of numbers to achieve the goals. But if you have certain meta, the operations cards out, you may be able to add those numbers or multiply those numbers or divide
So you might
them.
have the combo victory that allows you to win by multiplying or dividing or whatever the numbers you have. And what's really interesting is that there are some meta rules that you can play with that will mean that you can always win with that kind of a goal, or even that you have to win by doing it that way.
Okay.
Plan C, we call it.
Yeah. Ooh.
So it really amps up the math, if you will.
Yeah.
There it is, Plan C. That requires the only way to win is by achieving it through a mathematical combination. And then if you achieve the goal in the traditional way by just putting the two numbers together, you discard the goal and draw 3 cards. So you get a benefit for meeting the goal in the usual way, but to actually win, you have to use math.
And as usual, they're very clever goals. I always appreciate the way that some of these numbers.
Yeah.
You got Golden Anniversary, which is pretty straightforward. Yin Yang.
This is one of my favorites. The speed of time travel
is.
There's some fun ones too, like lowest score. If your numbers add up to the lowest number compared to anyone else, you win. And there's one that you win if you can make your number match your birthday.
Oh.
Or your age rather, or maybe it's both of them. No, it's your birthday or the current date. So what's the date? It's the 14th. So if the current date goal was up, then you'd have to have 1 and a 4 to win.
Nice.
Or a 2 and a 7, for example. So yeah, Math Flux just came out.
That's available now.
Available now, just in time for Pi Day, which it is, of course.
We were just
today.
discussing that earlier today.
So that you could go to your game store tonight and play that.
So I've actually seen the flyer. You're making a focus toward educational games.
That's
recently.
True. Yeah, that's true. Well, Math Flux totally fits that bill.
Yeah.
And the next one in our line is going to be Chemistry Flux.
Aha.
And Chemistry Flux is coming out in May. And this one too is very much educational, but it just fits perfectly because you'll have cards that are well, helium doesn't go with anything, but hydrogen and oxygen make water. So So if you have those two things, and then
one
the
of the goals
is
could be water.
Exactly so. So another great one was NaCl, salt, of course. And these are some of my favorite ones because they are a simple compound of 2 elements that form together for something we use every day, like salt or water. Some of the other ones are a little more complicated. There's a bunch of goals that require 3 things in this game.
Explosion.
Well, people wanted that. There's your water goal.
Yep.
But yeah, this is
pyrite.
I was able to figure out most of this on my own with my high school chemistry knowledge and the internet. But I did have a couple of chemists go through this and
just make sure that things
give me some suggestions
kosher,
and focus on some accuracy there. So Chemistry Flux is coming out.
I could see playing that in high school chemistry class. That would
exactly.
be fun.
So yeah, people have said for a long time that our games are educational, but we haven't really had games that feel as much that way as we do now. I mean, Chrononauts is a great history lesson in a box, and Nature Flux is a bit educational in that way. But here with Math and Chemistry Flux, it's really pushing the educational element. And also, I didn't bring my prototype, but this summer we're bringing back our storytelling game Nanofictionary, which is going to be great for English classes and so forth as well.
But sometimes with Flux, you're done with learning and it's time to just have some fun.
You're absolutely right. And in fact, we have something that people have been asking for a long time, finally coming out. In July, Flux will turn 21 years of age,
Okay.
and therefore we're finally bringing out the long-awaited
Drinking Flux.
That's right. And this is a fantastic drinking game. I made a study of other drinking games and tried to pull in a lot of the things that make other drinking games notable. A couple of my favorite rules here are the required word rules and the forbidden word. So if you say a certain word, you have to take a drink. There are drinking rules that set forth at the beginning that say, I don't have this sorted well enough for this demo, but the drinking rules require that everybody have their own drink.
Yeah.
And you don't have to drink alcohol. You can just drink water or soda, whatever you like. But you do have to have something so you can be imbibing when you are called upon to do so. So there are the drinking rules that spell all that out. But we have a number of things saying, like here's a thing pointing out, you don't have to drink alcohol to drink. In fact, it's fun, like it says, it's cool to use fancy glasses. Like just put your soda in a wine glass.
There you go.
Participate with everybody else. So I'm not actually a drinker myself. So I very much wanted this to be something that the non-drinkers could play along with the drinkers and have fun with it. And it is a hoot. As I say, we've been playtesting it for years. Oh, required word, that's the other one. We actually have two different versions of this, required prefix and required suffix.
Oh boy.
So you have to either end the word, every sentence you end has to be using the required suffix or prefix. A couple of popular ones are dude. That ends up, required word of dude is a good one.
Yes.
Forbidden word, draw or play. Those are ones that get people a lot. I like, as a prefix, I like actually. You start off your, actually,
it just adds to the conversation,
actually, it's your turn.
really.
Oh, well, now I have to drink because turn is another
Turn is a forbidden
word. And there's a card in here that lets you change up. So when somebody plays one of these rules, they get to decide what the required or forbidden word is.
Right.
But during the game, somebody might play a card called New Vocabulary that says, okay, now these are the required words.
And you're changing all the required words and stuff. Oh, boy.
And another fun thing to do is to pick something that was the forbidden word, the required word, and then make it the forbidden word. Because you've gotten so used to saying it, I end the sentence with dude every time, and then now I can't
no, you can't say dude. Okay.
Like I say, for years actually, we've been playtesting this, and it does get you pretty drunk. Okay. Because there's a lot of reasons why you might have to drink in this game. So we're trying to be responsible, as I say, with
it's sort of a disclaimer on the basic rule card.
And in fact, there's one card too that says switch to water, which says if anybody feels that somebody's had one too many, they are compelled to switch to drinking water from that point.
There you go.
Because my biggest fear is that somebody will
you don't want anybody to get hurt
by drinking. And of course, we're all about fun. We don't want that to happen. So.
But once you have everybody nice and tipsy with this adult version of Flux, you have another adult version.
Indeed we do.
On the horizon as well.
We brought out a Mad Libs game last year, and that's done very, very well for us, in conjunction with Mad Libs. In fact, they approached us and said, we hear you do good games.
Yeah.
How about doing a Mad Libs game? And I said, you're on. And we brought out Mad Libs. And the Mad Libs basic game is very family friendly and welcoming. And our new adult Mad Libs is also, we don't want to be offensive.
Okay.
So we're trying to be very adult and sort of titillating, if you will, but not rude and insulting. So that's one of our watchwords with this. But so Mad Libs, adult Mad Libs will be coming out, gosh, I don't have the exact date. I think it's in June maybe.
Okay.
But this is very much like the original one where we have story cards that have blanks that we're filling in with options from our word card bank, and then the words will have we'll have a kind of base word, and then all the different ways that they can be turned into a noun or a verb or an adjective or an adverb listed on the card. So everybody will be choosing from their hand of 7 cards to fill in the blanks that they think will be the funniest. And everybody then votes for the one they think is funniest. You can't vote for your own. And whoever's story solutions get the best laughs, they then win a point. And they keep that point until they have 3 points.
So it's the same system as Mad Libs the game.
Absolutely.
It's just the vocabulary is maybe a little more sly and
a little more risque.
naughty.
But even there, we tried not to be
not overt.
Exactly. Suggestive is the way, the watch.
You have to use the creativity to be suggestive.
Exactly. So, and I want to give a shout out to Jeremy Holcomb and his team on this one. I designed the basic game of Mad Libs, and then because once you have the structure worked out, kind of anybody could come up with, well, not necessarily anybody, but creative people could come up with various different options for the words and the sentences. And Jeremy Holcomb's a game designer, and he and a team of some of his interns actually are the ones who came up with most of the words and sentences on this. So we're getting big enough that we're actually starting to have other people help out with some of these design things instead of doing it all myself, which is how it's been for so long.
Now, one more classic I really want to get to is Zendo.
Yes.
And you have a new version of this.
So, again, Pyramid Arcade just came out, and the Pyramids are one of the most popular games for the Pyramids is Zendo.
Yeah.
And some will wonder, why is Zendo not in this box set? And it's mentioned in the book as a game you can play if you get more pyramids. But the fact of the matter is, the Pyramid Arcade is optimized around games that use fewer pyramids of each color and plenty of colors.
Right.
Whereas for Zendo, what you really want is not very many colors and plenty of pieces of each of those colors.
Right.
So because it's not really optimal for that set, and because we also wanted to do something more special with it, which I'll get to, for all those reasons, we kind of held Zendo out of the arcade. And next year, we're going to be bringing out a brand new standalone Zendo set. And what makes it special and interesting...
What makes it special and interesting?
Funny you should ask. What makes it special and interesting is that it doesn't just use pyramids. It will use pyramids, but it will also use two other shapes, blocks and wedges.
Ooh.
And so the pyramid and the block are kind of like the wedge kind of fits in between those two in this kind of morphing, if you will.
Sure.
And the wedge has some interesting properties that it points kind of like pyramids do, but it's like a block as well. And there's just all sorts of interesting new things you can build with the blocks and the pyramids that you couldn't have done with just pyramids alone. One of my favorite little structures is, of course, the Stonehenge Trilithon, and you can make some pretty neato little tower sort of things out of the wedges.
The general concept is still the same, though. You're creating a rule. Creating a rule and then making examples of that rule that either follow it or don't follow it, and the other players are trying to guess.
So one player will be the instructor, the puzzle master, as I think we're currently calling it.
Okay.
And they will set up two structures. Well, why don't we just play a little game here? I think we still got.
We only have a couple minutes.
Well, we may not get through it, but I'll set it up. One of the other things that this set is also great about is that it's going to have a bunch of starter cards, a huge library of starter cards, which have a pseudo limited structure in that each one will have sort of several different options. So the puzzle master will lock in one of those, and then that's what it is for the whole time. So they might say, I'm going to require that each cluster. Actually, I think we're calling them structures.
Structures, not koans.
Yeah. Well, and cluster was another thing, but I think structure is actually what we're going to. The naming of things. One of the things that's also different about this is that we're pulling out the Zen Buddhism theme that was there before, and we just want it to be sort of pure, simple, what the game
Puzzle
is,
solving.
rather than any theme baggage, because it really doesn't need it, and it can be a little misleading about what the game really is. So the puzzle master will create a. So let me get one that you haven't seen. That's Also, they have a rating, so the dots indicate
difficulty.
how difficult. 3 dots is pretty hard. 2 dots is medium, and 1 dot is easy. So you can sort of pull out just a bunch of the ones that are easy for quick gaming. And let me just pick one here that. Okay, this will be the rule. So I will create 3.
I don't know if we have time to do 3.
No, I mean not 3. I'm getting ahead of myself. Each of my structures is going to have 3 pieces.
Okay. Yes.
So one of them might look like that, and the other one would look like this.
Okay.
And then one of them will get a black stone, and one gets a white stone.
Black means.
And the black means it is following the rule, and not following the rule.
Right.
White is following the rule, black is not following the rule.
Okay.
So you then, on your turn, you're going to build your own little
I might think,
cluster.
I think the rule has something to do with the fact that they're all the same shape. So I'll pick 3 things that are all orange and make it look like that. and say, how's that?
Well, I would point out those are not all the same shape because you've got 2 pyramids and 1 wedge.
Well, I'm hoping to disprove the rule that I thought it might be.
I see. Well, all right then. In that case, now you would also then have the option of saying, just tell me the answer, or let's ask a question, a quiz about, in which case all players try to predict what the answer is going to be. But since this is not a real game, I'll just go ahead and tell you that in fact gets a black stone.
So that did not follow the rule. So it's not all pieces are orange.
It's not all pieces
are the same.
Well, those aren't all the same.
Right.
You've got 2 kinds of one shape and one of the other. This has all the same.
So if I had...
But this one also, has a piece on top of 2 of the others.
There's a whole bunch of different things.
So maybe it's about having a piece on top of another.
Right.
And so you'll be building these various clusters along with everyone else until someone is sure they know the answer and they take a stab at guessing what the rule is by spending one of their guessing stones. And if they're right, they win the game. And then they get to be the puzzle master.
See, now I need to know, what was it?
Well, it was in fact only one size. And see, though, in this case, I will look at it and say I'm going to lock in on the blocks, and they have to have only blocks. So even here, even if you had said that, it would still get a black stone. Because in this case, it's not just all the same shape,
but if I had
a
done
particular
this,
shape. That would get a white stone.
Correct.
Yep. And so you get to, it's what we call inductive logic.
Yep.
Because you're looking at the evidence to try to inductively deduce what the rule is.
Andy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Andy Looney from Looney Labs, lots of fun stuff. I'm really looking forward to the new Zendo.
This will be coming out in 2018. And by the way, these are just 3D printed test pieces. The real ones will be clear plastic in
They'll
colors
look more like the pyramids.
Like the pyramids, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.
All right. Let's move you over to the...
very good.
The chat room. That goes there. This is Drinking Flux. It did indeed.
Yeah. We will, yeah. This is live, right?
Yes, you're live.
Okay.
Well, the camera,
it's on that, but no, it's good. So if you guys have questions for Looney Labs, now's the time. Get them on there so we can get them answered.
Yep. Roger that. Right. All right, where do I sit here?
Right here, have a seat.
The hot seat.
The hot seat. And we're going to get hotter and jump right into it.
Okay. Very good.
Question all lined up for you. It's actually in line with something that I was looking at. So I used to be a certified teacher.
Oh.
So education is really important, and someone else is voicing this as well. So their question for you is, will the card quality for Flex Math be suitable for usage in a classroom? I guess they were saying there were some issues with the older ones. What are your thoughts?
It's going to be the standard playing card stock that we always use, and as far as I believe, I've played a lot of games with these cards, and it seems like they hold up well to me.
Okay.
I mean, if you spill soda on them or something, it's not necessarily going to last. Which is why actually this one's going to have plastic cards, so they'll be spill proof.
The drink.
Yeah, Drinking Flux will have plastic cards. Because we anticipate the need for them to be spill-proof.
I think that's wise, actually.
But yeah, our regular ones are just regular playing stock. If they wear out, you'll have to buy a new set. Sorry.
And my other, actually, I have a question before we head into another question. It's about Pyramid.
Yeah.
So, and it kind of ties into a bit of the educational use, or even comparison to other types of games that are building type games. How does it differentiate? Like, what makes it stand out from the others?
Well, it's because it's not like anything else. It's not just one game. It's dozens of games. It's hundreds of games. It's a game design toolkit for creating your own games. In fact, I think the closest thing to compare this to is a standard deck of playing cards.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, well, with a deck of cards, you have this basic standard piece of equipment that you can use for hundreds of different games.
Right.
The Hoyle book tells you the rules for those games.
Exactly.
And some games are played just with the cards. Others need other stuff, perhaps a cribbage board or a stack of poker chips, whatever it might be. So for this, some of the games need just the pyramids. Others need a game board or a deck of cards. But all of them use the pyramids in different ways. And one set will let you play endless numbers of games.
Okay, and another question I have is, how do you address the color blind issue?
Well, as a matter of fact, we have a section on that right here.
Oh, beautiful.
And one of the ways we address it is simply by providing you with so many colors that you can choose the ones that you'll find you can see well enough.
Understand.
So, yeah, but we have a section here on visibility issues.
Oh, wonderful.
Because it's not just colorblind. Sometimes if you're in a low light condition,
Absolutely.
everybody's going to have a
Makes a
time
huge
seeing it.
difference.
So depending on those factors, you might choose to use a colorful set, or maybe you'll use more starkly colored black and white colors in order for everyone to be able to see the pieces very
That's
clearly.
fantastic that that's in there. So let's just swing back over here and see if we have a couple questions from the viewers. Oh, here's one here. And thank you guys for putting question. It makes it a lot easier for us to see that you're asking one. So right here, does Looney Labs have a platform on their site for sharing user-created games?
Well, not exactly, in that it's not. It's fan hosted. So there's a website called icehousegames.org, which is fan run, and that's where rules for pyramid games by anybody can be posted. And there's close to 500 games that have been registered there. And so it's a wiki, so anybody who wants to add their rules to that database is invited to do so. And we like that it's fan run so that it's a little detached and everyone feels welcome there. And yeah, we encourage people to add their games there. And we love hearing about other people creating their own games there. We think that's awesome.
Okay, let's just see if we can get one quick last question in here. Okay. This is actually an interesting question. When do you anticipate Zendo to come out? And the MSRP. I'm going to throw those in there.
I can't comment on the MSRP.
That's fair.
I just invent games. I don't know pricing and all that stuff.
Okay.
As for when, I know it's going to be 2018, hopefully early 2018, but I can't give you anything more precise than that at this time.
Okay, and that's fair. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
You.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.
Thanks so much. You're welcome. All right. I'll take that. Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Whew. All right.
Your watch. You still have your watch?
I do indeed. I put it in my pocket. And now, thanks for that reminder, I'll put it right back on my signature watch. It's noisy clickiness. All right. You all have a great GAMA trade show. I'll talk to you later.
You too. Take care.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Okay, all right, I'm tossing to set. Set is live.
That's an awful roll. Ooh, I got one of the creepy eyeballs.
No, that's nothing. Mine's got 2 games. So let's get on the second game.
Let me know when you guys are ready. Are you doing the stuff? Okay. Are we good, Derek?
Yeah, audio's good as long as graphics are ready.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to our continuing coverage of the GAMA Trade Show 2017. I'm Zeke Garcia. I am here with Ryan from Passport Game Studios, and we're going to be taking a look at a follow-up to Kingsport Festival, a game that you guys put out. It was a much bigger box, a standard square size box. And it's a card game. It's a much smaller sized card game.
That's right.
Using that same Cthulhu-y goodness theme.
Right. So the Kingsport Festival, the card game. So as you said, a compressed kind of iteration on the board game from a few years ago. So if you're familiar, which I know you're a big Cthulhu fan, you're probably familiar with Kingsport Festival and kind of the concepts there. So with this one, it takes kind of some of the core theme and just twists it around and does something really kind of unique. It's a little different than the board game, but has some familiarities to it as well.
Cool.
With this, you're playing as a cultist, and you are trying to, bring death and destruction and all the things you do as a cultist and follower of the great old ones.
That's right. Like we do.
Like you do, exactly. So everyone starts the game with a sanity die. It comes with 5 sanity dice and 5 of these little gray dice that are going to give you resources to spend. It comes with 1 time die that allows you to track the rounds over the course of the game. Everyone starts with a set number of sanity, and of course, if you run out of sanity, that's bad, as is traditionally the case in these Lovecraftian worlds. You will be using these dice to generate resources. You're going to have the ability to get evil as a resource, death as a resource, and destruction as a resource. You generate those things, and as you get more evil, death, and destruction in your life, the more you're going to be able to invoke the powers of these elder gods here on the table. So there's this big pool of cards. It looks almost Dominion-esque with all these different piles of cards, but it's not a deck builder per se. Instead, you are just simply adding the stuff to your hand, and then every round you'll be able to use the powers of these elder gods that you've built. So it has kind of an engine building feel of starting with just one small little die. You're a measly little cultist, but you're thriving to become stronger. And so as I generate this resource here, I can spend it on one of these, for example, and I can recruit a Night Gaunt or invoke a Night Gaunt, and it's now going to add into my pool. And we go around in each round. You're going to now be able to roll a die, and then this says I can play it to receive one new domain die, which are these guys with the result of death. So it's going to give me
so that one comes in locked in on death.
Right. So now I have these two resources, and I can spend them to graduate up and build up and up and up as you go. To get more and more powerful elder gods. But it's not always just that simple. In addition to getting your elder gods, you have to worry about the fact that there are investigators who are going to perform these raids and try to thwart your efforts. So every game, the game comes with 14 different investigators, and every game you play with one of them. So there's a lot of replayability and different effects and things you're going to be worrying about. For example, here we have Randolph Carter. If we were playing with him, this is at the end of each round, raise the sanity of all cultists equal to the cultist with the highest sanity. So everyone's sanity stays a little stronger, so that one's actually kind of beneficial for you. But down at the bottom, it's also going to tell you which round you're going to encounter him raiding you. So in this case, we've got rounds 3, 5, and 7, and the gun symbols at the top tell you how effective he's going to be at raiding you. And you're going to have to utilize the strength of your Elder God cards to try to counter that. And not all of the Elder Gods have strength contributed towards that. So it's going to affect in those rounds how many of the gods you want to actually use for extra domain dice and extra resources, as opposed to hold them back defensively to handle this. Because every damage you take in the form of sanity, and again, if you run out of sanity, then you start actually losing the elder gods that you've already invoked. So you can start losing cards and points. So
these cards, as you play them from your hand, at the end of that round, you pick them all back up?
Yeah, you recollect anything that you've played, and each round you have a bigger and bigger hand as you go.
Sort of hand building, if you will.
Yeah, kind of hand building, sure. So the game will end in a couple different ways. Either the round timer will go all the way around, and there's a total of 9 rounds that you'll play, or one of the topmost elder gods is Azathoth. And if someone invokes this at the end of that round, then the game ends immediately. So someone can get 4 destruction resources, which is the rarest on the dice. The distribution of symbols is a little skewed on these dice. So you have a lot of evil, which is the little purple tentacle. You have a couple death symbols, which are the skulls, and you have only 1 destruction, which is the fire. And so getting 4 of those in a single turn is going to require you to either roll really well with multiple dice if you have earned extra dice, or use different powers to generate that. So the catch on that is that a lot of these things that will give you the specific symbols that you want are going to also cost you sanity. So as you try to build up to that, there's this kind of management of your sanity and what resources you can spend.
And so at the end of the game, once the end game is triggered, are we counting these right here?
Yep, the little stars you got there. Pretty iconic in the Cthulhu universe as well.
Yeah, elder signs, man. So most elder signs, and
most elder signs is your victory points, and that's it. So,
so when is this available?
This is available now.
Okay.
Yeah, this came out on February 10th. It's $25 MSRP, so it's in stores now. And if it's not, then talk to your store owner or your,
That's right.
There you go, and they can get it for you. So available now. It plays 3 to 5 players. Plays in about a half hour. So nice, quick, light, portable game with a really fun, creepy, dark, Cthulhu-y.
It is certainly very creepy and very dark. Yes.
Yeah, the art is amazing. I love how they made these guys look.
So you got something else with very pretty art, but not as creepy.
Not as creepy.
Let's take a look at that.
Let's scoop this really quick, and we'll get this other one going. All right, that's fine.
Okay, get out of here.
There we
Demons?
go. No more evil. No more death and destruction. And instead, we have this very cool game called They Who Were 8. This one also just released, actually, last week. What are we? Today's Tuesday? It was Friday, so it's only been a few days.
Okay.
This is a really interesting, unique game for 2 to 4 players. that we kind of call, it's kind of semi-cooperative. It's kind of something Scott Morris likes to call co-competitive, in that you will, yeah, it's a term that he's fond of. What we do here is everyone is out for themselves, but you have to kind of lean on your neighbors in order to get yourself into a winning position, to put it simply. So the way it works is there's actually a couple different ways to play, first of all. There's a standard mode, which is for 2 to 4 players, where everyone's out for themselves. There's also a team mode for 4 players, where it's 2 versus 2, and you're teamed up with your opposite, sitting across from each other.
Sure, right.
The game comes with these 9 different god tiles. There are 9 just for the sake of some variance, but every game, with a full 4-player game, you're going to have 8 of these gods that are in play. And what will happen is each player gets 2 god tiles, and they set one to their left, and they set one to their right. And so then you would do the same. You would have one on this side of you, one on that side of you. The player over here would have one over there and one over there. And then anything that's not being played, we would remove. We have a deck of cards in the middle. Everyone gets 3 action cards into their hand. And the way this works is that you are trying to kind of weave a story, so to speak. This is a very interesting little theming around some poetry that was written several years ago from the designer, which is really, really neat, but it doesn't make or break your immersion or ability to enjoy the game, but it's just some cool history. But anyway, you're weaving this kind of tale about your gods, and you're trying to make it so that they have the most glory, which are these little gold beads. But over the course of the game, you're also going to generate infamy for your gods, which are these black ones. The glory is worth 2 points towards your god at the end of the game. The infamy is worth -1. For you to be in a winning position, your pair with one of your 2 neighbors has to be the pair that has the greatest sum, the highest communal score. So if we had something like this, and you had that, and I had this, and over here I had something like this with this guy, say there was just nothing over there, we have 4 points there minus the 2 combined for a total of 2 points between us here. Whereas over here we have 4 points only with 1, so 3 points. So that would mean that me or the player on my right would be in the running to win. The way we determine who the actual winner is the player whose individual god in that pairing has the least amount of glory. So you're trying to get points on your stuff, you and your neighbor's stuff. You and I are working together to try to put glory over here, but you're trying to put as much as possible on my god, and I'm trying to put as much as possible on your god, because we want one of us to win. We want this pair to win.
I want the one that's the selfless one.
That's exactly right. Yep, that's exactly right. So the way the game actually plays out and the way you generate this stuff is with your 3 action cards you have in your hand. Every turn you play one of your cards, and then you're going to pass one of the remaining cards to the player on your left. At the end of the round, everyone draws back up to 3, and play continues in that fashion. Every card that gets played is going to get shuffled back into the deck every round as well. So it's not a play through all the actions and get them back. So there's a potential to see the same actions multiple times over the course of the game. But yeah, that little passing mechanism is very interesting, and how you can kind of dictate what powers your neighbors might have access to. All the cards, as you can probably see here on camera, have some just really gorgeous art and some very minimalist style iconography that tell you kind of what they do, whether they move glory or infamy around, whether they generate new stuff, whether they remove stuff. And all but 1 or 2 of the action cards in the deck are only going to influence other people's god cards. So you can't ever just simply, not never, but rarely can you ever just like put infamy on your own, or just start removing glory from your own in order to put yourself in that winning position. You always are trying to help your buddy, help your neighbors win, but not quite enough that you don't win. That's the interesting balancing act here. So yeah, like I said, 2 to 4 players where everyone's out for themselves, and it plays in the fashion we just described. The team game, instead of having the left and right pairings, you just have your 2 gods in front of you, and you're playing the same mechanisms. You're playing the same gameplay with the actions, but it's just a sum of my stuff and my teammate across from me and their stuff. So you're just trying to have the highest score. So it takes away some of that highest, but also be the lowest thing. So it's a little more streamlined there, as opposed to the 2 to 4 player mode. So, yeah.
And what's the MSRP on this one?
$25 on this one as well.
Okay.
So
available now also.
Available now. Yep.
Okay, very
from
cool.
Designer Todd Sanders. This one was around a few years ago. It was available as a print and play for a long time, but this is the first time it's been available as a full retail product with nice production and whatnot.
Yeah, nice big cards. They are real high quality linen finish on these.
Sure. Yeah,
Very cool.
The God tiles are all nice cardboard punch outs, so they're nice and heavy duty. You get these nice beads, so yeah, really nice production. Super
Excellent.
excited for this one.
Excellent. Anything else you got coming up that you want to share with us?
I can talk a little about our newest game that we've announced that we're doing with FunForge.
Okay.
Our model with Passport, for those that are not familiar, is working with a lot of international publishers and being the passport, if you will, for their games to come to the U.S. Clever, right?
Got it.
Yeah.
Now it all makes sense.
Right? We do some of our own stuff as well, but a lot of our line is stuff with international publishers. So FunForge being one of our premier publishers, they've announced a new one that we're going to be doing with them called Professor Evil and the Citadel of Time. It's a new, fully cooperative game that we're looking at having out later this year, probably summertime-ish. We're still locking down all the logistics on that, but that's one that is going to be really, really exciting. You can check out our social media at Passport Games on Facebook and on our Twitter at Passport Game Studios, as well as FunForge's pages, and there's some fun concept art that you can look at now.
Yeah, I saw some of that. It looks really, really beautiful.
Yeah,
actually.
Really, really nice. I'm excited to get more of that in front of people. So, but yeah, that's about as much as we have to say about it right now. Is it's a new co-op coming with us and FunForge.
Very cool.
Yeah, you can check it out online. Check it out on BGG. There's a page for it now with some of that concept art as well. So
great, man.
So,
Good talking
awesome.
to you.
Yeah,
appreciate
you as well.
it. Thank
you for having us.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you real soon. All right.
Cool.
So let's have you go join Mandy over there once we pack this up.
Yeah.
Maybe you get some of them internet's
Some
questions.
internet questions.
Okay, so if you guys have questions, know the answer? Okay. Good.
They can still hear you.
They can still hear me? Oh, okay, well, you guys can hear me at least. If you have questions for Passport Games, now is the time to get those in so I can get right to them.
Sure. There.
Okay. Okay, hi.
Awesome. Hello.
All right. So this is good. We got a few questions. We're going to jump right
good.
in. I hope that's
Awesome.
okay.
Yeah, right in. Let's do it.
So Andrew is asking, question for Passport, bringing anything else from Splotter to wider distribution?
Yes.
That was a little hesitant.
So we just helped bring over their latest print run of both Indonesia and the Great Zimbabwe.
Fabulous.
We've sold out on our end, so they're in stores now in whatever supply is left.
Okay.
So those people can get now. We obviously did more Food Chain Magnate last year. And we have another one that we are looking at bringing out later this year. I don't know that it's been announced, so I don't want to misspeak if it hasn't. But yes, we are absolutely still working with Splotter.
Okay.
And hope that we continue to get to do more with Splotter because their stuff is amazing.
Their stuff is so good. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear that.
Did you see their little tease that they put up the other day? That,
No, I
that
missed
Joris
it.
put up on,
Tell me.
on Facebook. He just put up a picture of just a few components, a couple little meeples of some kind, and this weird little gridded thing, and just said no comment, and just put that picture
Really?
up. And,
Okay.
People are like,
so you know people are going to be crazy.
yeah, no, I'm immediately just thinking like,
Yeah.
what are we going to get to work with this? Yeah, so we'll
That's
see.
amazing. That was a great question, Andrew. So
Yeah.
we also have another one from Otar. I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Who did the artwork for Cthulhu Kingsport game, and how did you decide on the artist?
So I can tell you the artist's name. Let me actually pull it out of the box here.
Yeah, no, that's good.
My head. I can tell you though that we don't, for the Kingsport games, we don't have any of the creative decisions on it.
Okay.
It was all handled by Joki Unity, who's our partner in this case, like I was saying on camera earlier.
Right.
We work with a lot of these international publishers, and so yeah, they handled all that. So I can't speak to how they came to the decision on it, but the artwork, I'm gonna try my best to get these names right. Working with all these international folks, there's a lot of names sometimes that I struggle
Completely
with,
understand.
But, looks like Michael Quinto and Demis Savini handled the artwork. I believe it's the same folks who did the artwork for the original Kingsport Festival board game a few years ago.
Okay.
And I know their names are up on the BGG site as well, so you can see their profiles and you can see
That
whatever
are on
works
there.
they've done. So if you're particularly fond of the artwork here, you can see what other games they might have worked on.
Okay, and is this a way to keep it consistent, or you just enjoy working those types of artists? I'm always curious.
I would imagine on their end, it's
Right,
the
if
desire
that's-
to keep it consistent. When it comes to branding, you want someone to
Right.
look at this and go, "Oh, that looks just
We
like
know
my
that.
board game."
Exactly.
We know what that is. You know, exactly right.
No, that's perfect, and that's why I asked, because
Sure.
I notice some companies will make changes and then people don't know what it is. So
Right.
yeah, it's important. All right, let's see what else we have. Okay, someone wrote here, what other Ludo games is Passport imposing? Is that a question that you can answer?
Importing, probably.
Imposing?
Yeah. Imposing, importing.
We'll go with importing. I'm just reading these here, but you know.
Sure. Yeah. So
importing.
Yeah. There you go.
Thanks, Andrew.
So They Who Were Eight, who I just talked about, is from Ludo Creations.
Right.
I don't think I mentioned that on there, but yeah, it is from Ludo
Okay.
Creations.
And this is one, I think, Suzanne, did you talk about this game?
Yeah, They Who Are It is great.
Yes,
and
'cause I saw
The
that.
designer and artist Todd Sanders is amazing, and talk about a talented guy. He has very interesting, intriguing, unique games. So
Right.
I'm really glad you guys picked that
I
up.
did see that, yes.
Yeah. It's super cool. So this is our latest with them. I don't know that we've announced anything else that we're working on with them yet, but we're always in talks with all of our partners regularly to see what they have coming up,
Right.
And when we can get it hopefully as synced up as possible. So if they have something new coming out, that we're going to try to have it around the same time. Sometimes it's later, but yeah. So as of right now, nothing to announce with Luda, but we love those guys.
Okay.
So, yeah.
No, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else we have here. Okay. Oh, no, that's good. Okay, so there's been a little talk about your logo. I know it's not game related, but people are asking if there's
Sure.
a story behind it. So maybe you can give us a little tidbit as to why the logo is the way it is.
Sure. So first and foremost, I'll lead with the fact I just joined the company last summer. So it was all decisions. Again, this story kind of predates my involvement with Passport, but it was something that the founder of the company, Rob Miracle, and some other folks that we were working with were particularly just very fond of, and they really wanted to incorporate that into the logo. Their reasoning for that, I'm not entirely sure, but it was something they really liked. But we do get actually a lot of questions about it, so it's actually been a big topic of discussion in the month since I've come on about the logo and if it should continue on as it is, as
Or
with the
something
Nautilus, or be
else.
something different, or whatever. So who knows? We'll see where that goes.
Well,
but,
it's obviously interesting,
but
people
it
are
is.
talking
It is
about it,
very,
so
it is very interesting.
that's what
Some
you
people
want.
think it looks like like if they don't know what a Nautilus is, they're
Right.
like, is it like a monster of some kind? Is it like what is it? You know? And
Exactly.
So we get a lot of that, which is, yeah.
Good, keeps people talking about your company.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, right?
Okay, so we'll see. I think that's, for the most part, we want to make sure we're not missing anyone. No, I think we got them all.
Cool.
So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And I'm sure we'll see you around.
I'll be here.
Okay.
Awesome.
Bye, guys.
All right. Here, we'll hand this off, I guess. Wherever it is.
Thanks for that. That was great.
Yeah. Leave it here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He's got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Oh, wow. Quite the
Thank you,
team.
guys.
Thank you very much. Who's, do you want, maybe I can get Yeah. I'm upside down. Oh, Susan's working on it.
I'm trying to.
No, it's okay. Do you need help?
No.
Okay.
Just the logo. I'm trying to do the logo.
Okay.
This way? Yeah.
You're still in the shot. Just don't leave.
I know, that's what happened with the other ones. We had to do this.
You're good. And that
Should have made that transparent.
Wow. It is what it is right now.
What's it like?
Oh.
Just
pretty mics the way you want them to be.
Yeah, the hell.
Guys, throw into the set.
You don't want the
Ooh. Jared.
That's Hanato.
I think it's cheating because we were
Hanato
saying it.
is,
No,
from
it's
now
not.
on, your name is now Savior.
Savior.
And the internet knows it.
That's a good name, yeah.
I mean, look what just happened.
I know, right? He just dropped the bomb.
Awesome.
You guys ready to go?
I need.
Okay.
15 more seconds.
Suzanne needs 15 seconds.
Then we'll leave it
15
till there.
seconds,
Okay.
everyone 15 seconds.
Okay.
Audio is ready.
Hi. We good?
Table camera's on.
Good. All right.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our 2017 GAMA coverage here in Las Vegas. You're watching the Dice Tower, and I'm here with a bunch of people with similar shirts on. So first off, we need to talk about a tweet that was sent out earlier today. Can we talk about this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and
I
don't want to.
I said yes to a tweet. I'm not sure which one you're referring to.
Okay.
Sure
well,
a lot of tweets,
you're all wearing the same shirt. Is there a reason behind this?
It's a black and white issue.
Wow, he went there.
Well,
he
thanks
just
for
dove
joining us.
right in.
It was good to have you all here on the internet. So yes, today we announced that Eric Lang is joining CMON as of April 1st, and it's not a joke.
The real April 1st,
yes.
not the fake April 1st.
Right.
The real. Okay.
So, and yeah, and we're super excited, and I hope Eric is super excited.
I'm crazy excited. I mean, this has been a long time in the making, right? I've been, so I'm joining CMON as the director of game design.
Okay.
And I'll be doing my role will be very similar to what I'm doing now, making games, but I'm more deeply integrated with the design and development team. We're going to be working on curating and keeping the games up to a level of excellence that we're used to, and just trying to bring it up next level every year.
So you said it was a long time coming. How?
So I've been working with these guys for years, and we've been getting closer and closer, and the teams that, especially the development team, who I'm working with the most, is like we got such great chemistry, and that we work so well together that I kind of feel like I've been an employee for like the last few years.
Right.
And I've been doing most of my stuff for Coleman You're Not, so it just felt really, really natural. And one of the things I've been wanting to do is to get deeper and deeper into the game production process. What I wanted to like spend my time focusing on fewer games, the highest level of quality, and working with the team across even games that are not my own, which I think are it's exciting.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So leading from all of that into a huge bomb just landed in Kickstarter a couple weeks ago, about a week and a half ago now, right? And so we have a full-blown.
That's a box.
That's a box. Yes.
So this is all prototype.
Okay.
So it doesn't come with a zombicide bottom.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't. Oh man.
Fix that. There you go.
There we go.
That's a game board.
Yes, it is. We can actually flip it if we can.
We can do that.
This is facing us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we put some thought into setting our canvas up this time.
That's a miniature?
No, that's a
Right?
maxature. Yes.
We call them bigatures.
Yes.
Wow, man, these are huge.
Yes.
These are miniatures.
They are. All right.
Okay, this is disgusting.
These are also miniatures.
There are bodies hanging from this guy's spear.
Well, so that is an oni. In Japanese folklore, oni are, well, they're evil, and there are quite a few in the game, and they represent one of the many strategies that you can do. The dishonorable strategy, if you want to get oni and do bad things, be a bad guy, there you are.
Right.
There are also non-evil monsters, such as the one in the black box over there. You gotta pull that out. He's just hanging out.
He's just hanging out.
If I must.
I haven't
If
even
you
seen
must.
this one.
Ooh.
There you go.
This is a miniature.
Jeez Louise.
That is the water dragon.
The water dragon.
Yeah, he's large.
Yeah.
This was one of my favorite Christmas presents I got a few months ago when I first saw the art and then the sculpt for it. Overall, this is the same team as the team that worked on Blood Rage. Mike McVeigh doing sculptures, Adrian Smith doing the art cover to cover, David Preddy as the creative director, yours truly as the designer guy, and this is the band's second album, and even though it has it's Japanese folklore, it's got monsters and gods and warriors. It's a very different game than Blood Rage. So it's, as you can see, this is a more political war game. You played it actually with us at BGG.
2/3 of a game, yeah.
It is more epic and spanning and diplomatic, and less of just an all-out brawl.
Right.
A little bit more indirect, and more. There's more teamwork. There's more negotiation, alliance making, and breaking. I mean, I love this game. It's like gush about it forever. But
right. Yeah. The combat mechanism is a lot different too.
Yeah,
So.
we have a little cheat card here.
That's right. So the game is half politics, half fighting. Politics, you guys work together to coordinate actions. It's not a co-op, but when I say work together, like you guys are allies are working together to coordinate actions, to harvest, to move guys around, to pick up resources, ronin, just straight up points, and maneuvering for the battle phase, which has this little mechanism here where everybody has their hides behind a clan. The clans are all very unique in this game. They are asymmetrical from the start and very, very different from each other. Everybody who's involved in a battle is going to hide behind their screen. They're going to bid money on which advantages that they want to get. And only one player in each battle can win a particular advantage. And then once everybody's bid and revealed, then we resolve. And so whoever wins for example, the advantage of seppuku has the option to go, well, I don't think I'm going to win this battle, so we're going to commit honorable seppuku. Was that sound effect?
Yes, I was just thinking that.
Right?
It's in the rulebook.
It is.
It's a trademark.
It is.
make
It is.
that
I
rule.
don't remember how to spell it. You guys all have to. All of your guys will die, but you get honor, which is important to the game because it breaks all ties. You get honor for everybody killed, and you also get points for everybody killed. So even if you're anticipating that you won't be able to win, maybe you want to take that, or you want to take hostage, where you can just take somebody else's figure off the map and take them hostage. You shame them for points. You take a point out of them. And later on, you have to give them back, and then you get money for them too as ransom. You can hire Ronin, which gives you all the strength of all those tokens that you picked up during the game to add that force. So there's a little bit of unpredictability in the final strength.
Right.
And finally, Imperial Poets, you get to spend money on. You get to figure out who is telling the stories of the combat. So whoever wins Imperial Poets gets points for everybody that died, no matter who killed them and how they were killed. So after all those things get resolved, then the battle is then it's just standard. Whoever whoever has the most figures there just kills everybody else, and then they win the province token, which will be worth points.
Yeah.
So yeah, you mentioned the allies stuff.
Yeah. So I love this. This is so during the game, one of the crucial parts of the game is you have alliances. Everybody has a choice to be. They're all temporary. They only last for one season. There's 3 seasons in the game. You guys can negotiate a bid to whether you want to be alliances or go alone. So these are each aligned with a clan. If you guys, so Guy and I, you want to be friends, we decide yes. If we do, we yin yang, we're together, heart, and we are. I know, but we're buddies for that season. And what that does is during the political phase, you share each of you shares the bonuses for each political mandate. But the drawback is you cannot attack each other. And so if you guys are fighting over the same province, then only the person who wins the most is going to take the province, and they can't kill their allies. So you basically want to be allies with people who are not going after the same provinces as you are. And of course, one of the political mandates is betrayal. I want to call it sudden but inevitable betrayal, but that was too long for a card. You can betray your ally, of course, and then the video does a good job of that. It breaks your alliance, and then you get to turn on your ally, and you can do that in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
And you can turn their warriors into yours, and it's really powerful and tempting, but you just have to be careful. You don't get betrayed.
Right.
Even if you're not alliance, you can betray without any consequences. So it's always that balance.
That's very cool. So this made a huge splash on Kickstarter. It's still making a huge splash. It's not over yet.
Did all right, I guess.
So,
it's doing okay.
Yeah, it's doing okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So not to overshadow what you may have coming up later on, we have that as well. Correct? God.
Yes.
Yep.
Well,
We do have. That is a game. All right. Yes.
I love how he's like,
Yeah.
Godfather, can we talk? Yes, of course we talk.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
The Godfather.
All right, goodbye, Rising Sun.
Get out of here, Rising Sun.
See you on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I just slid it off the table.
Yeah.
We'll just table flip.
Oh, take those with you.
He was trying to
Sam was going to walk off here.
I wasn't. And if I'm going to walk off with something, I'm going to
watch him do
something like
Those-
that.
is the All right. In the box. Here you go. It's on the mic holder.
Now this one has been in the works for a while too.
Yes, it has.
I mean, you were demoing it last year at CMON Expo, were you not?
So yeah, we had it at CMON Expo. We actually, Eric announced it at the last GAMA, I believe, on the Dice Tower. He talked
That's
about
right.
it. So yeah, so that was a year ago that we talked about it. You know, it's now approaching its actual release in July. So July 28th is when it's going to come out.
Very cool.
And actually, some stores that are part of our CMON Play program will actually have it for people on July 14th.
Oh, okay.
Exclusively
That's
2 weeks
cool.
early.
So
So yeah.
support your friendly local retailer.
Yes, and this because this is direct to retailer. There's no Kickstarter.
Right.
So, and now we have a lot more to show than the last time, which was just a
Okay.
box.
That's a true,
Yeah.
that is a true fact.
I will note on this that the metal and the plastic is all final, but we have prototype boards and cards right now.
Okay.
So
Yes.
So this insert is also final?
Yes.
Okay.
it is a cool mini or not game. So it's, there are, of course, chock full of cool minis, including, Sam, just for you.
What is this?
I think
the first player marker for you, the horse head.
Oh, wow.
I think they want it. Do we want it facing?
I was
up?
just remarking to somebody how this was like something I would, if somebody ever did this to me, it would be very, very disgusting. I mean, who
It's-
puts a horse head on the bed?
Marlon Brando.
I know he did, but it's just disgusting.
Do you think Don actually went there personally and put it in the bed?
No, he had people do it.
Now we've got this board. The final board won't be a puzzle like this. So no worries.
Be pre-assembled.
The colors and everything are
they're better actually. They're going to be more saturated, more
Yes.
vibrant.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
we had to do a
Gotcha.
print job.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the board art, the board art is all done. The art is all by Karl Kapinski. It's freaking amazing. And so the game is. There you go. Oh, and suitcases.
Yes. Those are important.
You played this with us, right, Sam?
I have not actually.
Oh.
Z and Tom did, I believe. But yeah, I haven't had a chance yet. Detail on these models are amazing.
The Don.
Oh, you said you.
Oh, I don't know. That's not him.
Where's a good place to put him? I guess in the Act 1?
Yep. So the Godfather is this is the big box strategy game based on the first movie, The Godfather, which is played over 4 acts. It's 2 to 5 players. We've been working on this game for a long, long time. We spent a lot of time playtesting and polishing it. It works well at 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's played over 4 acts of the first movie, so hopefully no spoiler alert, but it's been around for a while.
Yeah, right?
Over so we have this wonderful Marlon Brando figure is going to walk us through the 4 acts of the movie. In each act, you guys are playing the other family members, and you're running their families, and each of us is trying to run an honest family business while this is going on. And at the end of the game, when Mr. Corleone does his spoiler alert, we want to be the one who runs the best business, who has the most money in their suitcase, and that will be the successor to they'll be the heir to the throne. So the entire game is about money. You're a mob boss. It's a hard life being a mob boss. You are going to be putting thugs on thug placement, I call it. You're putting thugs on businesses to shake them down to get rewards, to pick up money and goods, and illegal goods to complete jobs for Monsieur Corleone. And all of this, of course, is to make money. That's everything. Money is what it all boils down to. The problem that you have is that all these things that you pick up are all cards, and they go into your hand. Money in your hand is not worth anything. It's again hard life, mob boss.
Okay.
You have to. You need clean money. You got to launder your money. So one of the things you have to do is have you guys go into these places to give you suitcase actions, which let you suitcase it.
Okay.
Single bills, and you get to put them in your suitcase. Only money in your suitcase counts at the end of the game. So no matter how much you picked up here, it's not good. The other problem that you have at the end of a round, after the turf war is done, and after you guys have put your guys on the map, is the Don Corleone demands a tribute. and you guys all have to discard down to a hand size. So if you picked up everything, you haven't suitcased anything, you're going to end up throwing a lot of cards away.
Wow.
So you have to build a efficient engine of gathering stuff and suitcasing it. And of course, a little murder on the side, right? So the jobs that you do are all, I mean, they're all right out of the movie, right? You can order drive-by shootings to gun down other figures and put them face down in the river. Face down, sir.
Yep. There you go.
You sleep with the fishes.
Face down, sir.
And other cool jobs. I have all the drive-by shootings. So you can see my playstyle preference. There's bribery and extortion and muscling in, muscling out.
Okay.
You can move people around the map. You can extort people and pull money out of their suitcase. And of course, finally, after all that's is done, you also get to bribe powerful new characters, powerful new allies that give you cool abilities for the rest of the game, extra actions that you can take that are very, very powerful and synergize with different strategies. They all go into your hand. But to bid for them, you have to use money in your suitcase. Got to spend money to make money.
Right.
Everybody, the allies will all be out here in a given round, and all of you guys have to bid simultaneously from your suitcase in order to get pick order. So everybody's going to choose simultaneously. Of course, you can table talk all you want. And that's why the suitcase, you get to put them all, your bribe money in the lid of your suitcase, and when you're all done, boop.
That's cool.
Reveal. That's like, I love toys, but it's got to be practical.
Right.
You reveal your bids. You lose all the money that you bid for, but first place will get to pick one. Get first pick. Whoever put the most money down will get first pick. Second most money gets second pick.
Gotcha.
Tie is broken from the horse head clockwise.
The horse head clockwise.
And then these guys go into your hand, give you cool stuff.
And then some of the allies even, so like the mayor they'll have you actually moving these other little neutral figures that aren't part of any of the specific families.
Right, they give you extra cool influence. Like the mayor's like having an extra family member. One of the twists of this game is, like I said, it's thug placement. You get to put guys down here to...
that phrase is going to be coined. I mean, that's
how I think of it.
Yes. Okay.
So you do the worker placement thing where you put a thug here and then you shake down the business. You get this thing. In this case, you get a new job from the job deck. Nobody else can do it. But one of the twists is that your family members would have these circular bases. You get to put them in zones of control, and they get to shake down entire regions.
Okay.
So if I put my family member here, I get to shake down the front end of all businesses.
The back end, actually.
Yes.
The back end. You're right. Of all businesses, of every region that he's touching.
Okay.
And of course, but if you put them out early, they may get gunned down. You lose that. So. There's two types of placement, and then of course after all that is done, there's turf war. Whoever has if anybody has a clear lead and influence, which is thugs and.
So yeah, if we have
right. So say for example here, this green has one influence here. Oh, he's a jerk. The neutral people do gum up your influence as well.
Yep.
So if green and right now green and neutral have one, but yellow has a clear lead, so they actually get to put a turf marker on that.
Under that tree.
Which is under that tree.
and we have more cards.
There's so much stuff in here. Yellow player, they actually get to put a turf war marker
In the region.
in the region.
Okay.
They own that region. That's
Yep.
and so this is going to give you a bonus at the end of the game. Whoever controlled the turf for the longest, and then and in future rounds, any thug that goes in here will give the bonus to the turf owner as well as themselves.
Wow.
as well. And then in the case of this one, who would own that? Like would
It ties, so it's a bounce. You have to have a clear lead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And that's it. And as the acts go on, more stuff gets unlocked.
and there's these blank spaces here. Those are actually filled up
As the game goes
as the
by.
game plays.
As the game
New
plays.
businesses.
With new businesses.
New businesses,
So that
yeah.
the businesses can kind of shift every time you play.
Yeah.
Because there's obviously these few set ones, but each time you play, there'll be other businesses that pop up and need shaking down.
That's very
They
cool.
need it.
So it's a 60 to 90 minute game.
60 to 90
We've gotten
minutes.
some of our 2-player games go down to like 45 minutes. It's really clippy, but it's pretty tough. Like there's a lot. You have a lot to consider, right? You're not only considering what do I want right now, but what do I want for turf war later on in the game strategically. And of course you got to launder all your money. That's the game.
very cool. It's very cool. I love the minis too, man. I mean, they're
really
just
cool.
they're so detailed, you know?
Yes.
That's the thing
And they're
about
very
them.
classic.
Yeah, yeah, just the different poses that they all have.
And so I don't know if we mentioned
Outfits.
So there's the Don Corleone miniature, and all the other families are actually new families. So.
Okay. The artwork on the cards, is that original artwork,
It's all
or is
original.
it, is it
Yep.
drawn from a movie or anything like that?
No, this all of it's original art
Okay.
by Kapinski. The only one being the Don.
Yeah.
But it's still even that is new art by Kapinski. So
Correct.
Like this
Yes.
cover
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything. So yeah.
It's not like stills or anything.
No.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. All right. So this is set for, you said July.
Yep, July 28th in general.
Overall.
And then CMON Play stores. We'll have it 2 weeks early on July 14th.
Very cool.
And
All right.
yeah, we'll have plenty of chances for people to play it at like Origins and by Gen Con it will be out, but we'll still have it there too.
Yeah.
So yeah, people will have a chance to get their hands on this before it's out.
Okay. Very cool. All right. Super duper. Now I have a question, and I don't know if I can ask the question. So if you need to tell me to shut up and don't ask that question, that's fine.
Okay.
But we had Ignacy on earlier today, and he alluded to the fact that possibly he and Eric were working on a game together.
Oh, that has to be a different conversation, I think.
That has to be a different conversation. That's code for shut up, Sam. Let's move on. Okay, so that is.
Is that our new sitcom, Shut Up, Sam?
Might as well be.
Can we coin that?
But okay, so we've got you've got Godfather in the pipe, and it's on the way. You've got Rising Sun, that is currently working its way out through Kickstarter. Is there anything else that you have on the horizon that you'd like to talk about, or that you can talk about?
Only
or-
there was.
I wonder.
Only.
Let me put this away.
Yes. We might have a little thing.
A
That we
little
announced.
thing.
Just a little.
Well,
We just announced
well,
this
well.
a
Look at
little
that.
tiny bit ago.
Song of Ice and Fire.
Tabletop miniatures game.
A tabletop miniatures game. All right.
You want me to hold this again?
Yes, please. You want some help?
That's why I'm here.
It's fine.
Just the mic guy.
There we go.
This. You got miniatures.
So this is all very early.
It's a miniatures tabletop game, Eric. It's a miniatures tabletop game.
It is a miniatures tabletop.
If it should have miniatures, right?
Wait.
Hopefully, we'd be doing it wrong.
Yeah, but it's not based on miniature tabletops.
No, it's actually a tabletop.
That would be
miniatures
an
game.
interesting game as well, wouldn't it? Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Gracious.
So for those of you who are fans of
Oh yes.
Song of Ice and Fire, there may be one or two of them out there.
Just a couple.
These are. Oops. Sorry.
Word.
Can we
check out the mountain?
Can we throw these against the wall like you?
Those are resin.
Don't throw the resin.
These are resin masters, my friend. Please don't.
So
Sick on
yeah.
that.
Eventually you'll be able to. Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Yes.
But yeah, once it comes out, they will be pre-assembled plastic. So you can throw them in if you like.
Okay, so will they be single molds?
They're pre-assembled.
So
Oh,
but
yeah,
they're not.
okay.
Even if they're
Pre-assembled.
multi-part, they're
Yes.
pre-assembled, so in the box it comes
Yeah,
ready
so,
to play.
yep.
Very cool.
I love the mountain.
Man, that's a big.
And he's so to scale too.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Just
I
doing
mean,
the mountain
it was
thing.
a very careful work in getting all the scaling and all the universe down tightly together, because it's very important to keep faith to the IP. And
No, of course.
And fans, of course, expect to relive the famous battles and also to create their own. So it's a big part of getting these guys just as imagination as you have as you read the novels.
Yep.
So you can see how he towers head and shoulders over the regular
Right.
guys there.
Yeah.
So what you have here, you've got a cavalry unit over here, an infantry unit, so you can see the difference. We don't have the thing, do we?
Not yet.
Okay.
So what Eric is alluding to is that it's a rank and file style game. So instead of controlling individual models, you get to control units. So there will be plastic trays. The most basic one being a tray with 12 slots for these guys. and you get to control those trays. So
Okay.
that does give you that massive sense of
Right,
scale
epic.
because you see all these mini miniatures in the field, but you get to control them in a very very easy way, right? It's very tight to control, very streamlined.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a super. I mean, for a tabletop miniature game, I've been playing miniature games for like my whole life. This is super accessible. I'm really happy that about the direction.
Yeah, I think the first time I was actually shown this game, it was like you said, it might at first there was seeing the number of miniatures that you can get on the board, but then experiencing the rules, it was. As soon as I played that first round, it was done. Like I just knew how to go.
That
it was
fast?
super easy. Yeah, and what
absolutely.
was nice is because as Kyle was mentioning, with the number of miniatures you can get, like especially with the trays and everything, and no matter how many guys you're getting in this battle, those rules are still the same, easy to follow rules. You're not going to have to add all these weird things in and keeping track.
Yeah, it's also very important in keeping in tune with the accessibility. It'll be very easy for you to just pick up a box out of the shelf, sit down and play because it comes.
That box.
Yep.
Yeah, but this one is a starter set, so it
Yeah.
contains approximately 90 miniatures.
90?
90. Wow. Yeah, it's about as big as Massive Darkness for the box. It contains a lot of value, a lot of replay because you get the 2 factions with significant presence on the map, so that you can customize the way you deploy leaders and heroes. So there's a lot of scenario cards as well. There's a lot of play in this one.
How many scenarios will it have? Do you know?
It's still too early to talk how many, but there will be scenarios that give you objectives for that session, for that specific session.
Okay.
And then, so the other type of box is the unit box, which comes with about 12 for infantry and 4 for cavalry, and those you just pick up and you can add to your armies as much as you want.
Okay. So each scenario will you be using all of the models for your side, or is it going to be you only use this?
Point by.
It's by points.
Yeah, it's a point system. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean,
so
I'm
go ahead.
super hard to please when it comes to miniature games.
Yeah.
I played this in Brazil. I love it. Like
Really?
I did a really good job on this one.
Wow, that's cool. So what's your timeline for this one?
So we expect a Kickstarter in Q3,
Okay.
but the Kickstarter will be only for the core box and a few units for Stark and Lannisters. But the idea is to have a strong retail presence with everything else. So all the other boxes that expand these factions and new factions will go to retail.
Okay.
So we want to make sure
Straight to retail, no Kickstarter.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We want to make sure that because we know to have that community and to keep this going strong, that it needs to have those regular releases.
Yeah.
So we just get it off the ground with the starter set and on Kickstarter, offering the retail pledges to our retailers who want to be part of that, and then from there it's regular between units and hero boxes and things like that. I don't know if you mentioned the hero boxes where you can get like the famous characters from the novels that everyone wants to play with.
Yeah, that's one of the main ways you can customize your army because the heroes, they also are deployed within the unit just like that. Perfect.
Okay.
So and they naturally not only enhance the unit's capabilities, but they also add something unique. So they add more powers. They do a range of effects with all the units around them.
And what's cool, actually,
Yes.
very different feel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Because each one gives its own unique.
His power
spin.
is so cool because when Gregor is actually part of your thing, your guys are harder to rout because they're more afraid of him than they are of the enemy.
Yeah. And what's interesting with some of these heroes too, though, is some are not about the battlefield. Some are more about politics and intrigue. So those characters will still be represented, affecting battles on the sidelines, but they'll still have actual miniatures and everything like that. So we've the development team has really captured like every aspect of the novels and like what you expect from those characters in that world.
That's a direwolf.
That's a direwolf. That's a Greywind. Rob's direwolf. He can only be deployed, for example, if you have Rob in your army. So there are little tie-ins like that.
That's cool.
He was mentioning characters like Cersei Lannister or Varys, which don't have a immediate presence on the battlefield. So they have their own little dashboard to the side, and they have some powers they can activate per round. So they're super cool.
That's cool.
It's Game of Thrones. You can't have Game of Thrones without politics and intrigue, right? So even though you're doing the mass battles, you still have the cool behind-the-scenes stuff going on.
So you have the different color resins here. Are the models in the base game also going to have different colors as well?
This is
Lannister?
Yeah, this
Okay.
is that's a,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's an approximation of the color. So it's a spray painted resins to give you an idea. But yes, you can expect pre-assembled colored plastic figures here.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Terrain, all that kind of stuff. What are you guys thinking on that one?
Yes.
Perhaps.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, right now we're still very, very early and just kind of showing it off, and
Yeah.
we've still got a lot of exciting things to come as we get closer to the Kickstarter.
Okay.
It's safe to say that there's. I mean, this is a fan service game, right? This is we're doing what fans of the series really are expecting.
Yep.
But there's a couple little surprises in there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. So, we got anything else you want to talk about?
Yep.
We do.
Okay.
We have a few things.
All right. A few things.
Just again, throw them off the table.
I can throw them.
Okay.
For full time.
Got a nickel.
We can do. So we got 5 minutes.
Okay.
Let's do.
Banana or this one?
Banana. We can do.
Yes. Set this up.
All
Banana
right.
Bandits.
Yes. Okay. So Banana Bandits is a cool game because one of the reasons like that first attracted it to us was just the table presence, right?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Do I have this on right? Yes. So what's nice is just out of the box, you unless you're me, which has trouble actually.
Would you like some help?
Nope, I got it. I've been holding this mic. I've been training. My big moment. All right, Eric.
There we go.
I did it.
Yep.
Look at that.
Is the immediate table presence and how easy it is. So this is we just opened this box and we've already kind of got this set up, which is nice. The whole goal of Banana Bandits is that the big boss of the Banana Bandits is done. He's retiring. So now we've got all of these other people who are part of that who are these guerrillas who want to be the next big boss.
Right.
And they have to do that by fighting their way around the tower, collecting coins, and then getting to the top of the tower, converting these coins that they've collected from the other members of the Banana Bandits into these banana coins up here. Once someone gets 3 of these coins, they're the new boss.
Oh, okay.
Super easy. There's only, it's a very quick game. All combat and defense is done with just everyone rolling these simple dice. There's only, there's I think 5 actions people can take on their turn. They can move, fight, pick up these coins. A free action if you're at the top, you can convert your coins to the bananas.
Or you can refill your hand of cards.
Yes,
for
or
the
you,
lower level.
yeah, or if you're down here by the street level, you can draw up to 5 cards.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's very fast-paced, very intuitive. The cards that he's mentioning are all different cards that actually kind of affect different actions you're taking in the game. So they may add and help. So we have things like steal 1 card. And you can play that and just do what it says.
You can add dice to your attack. Or
Yeah,
to
we have
defense.
add dice, and then there's cards like so Banana Power here that says, so this means it's action point. All of the actions you do have an action point.
Okay.
In this case, you can only use this one if you're using an action point to fight, and it's giving you +1 die.
Okay.
And it's very simple. If I was attacking Eric, I would.
Of course you're attacking me.
Well, of course I am. So I would roll a very bad attack because it's only 2 fists. To defend, he would roll again those same dice.
Get him. Oh,
so we're
tie.
both very. Okay, so Eric won. So he would defend, nothing happens. But so actually, I need to have this guy up here. If this was Eric and I did win, I would actually then be able to move him up to up to 3 spaces. So let's just say I'm going to move him this way. 1, 2, 3. He actually goes around.
Yep.
And then every space he was knocked out of, he leaves a coin.
Oh wow.
So he drops his money.
Is that out of a pool or out of his stash?
Out of a pool.
Out of a
Yeah.
pool,
So
okay.
so there's these 4 little containers down here that the coins sit in for you. So he would drop those, and then I would have to do my move action, and get over here and actually spend actions to pick up those coins.
Yeah.
And then once you've collected 3, not counting your own coins, you use coins from other people in the gang that you've taken them from. You can convert those to the banana.
How many actions do you get per turn?
3.
Yeah.
3?
3 out of those.
Do you have any cards that give you extra actions and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
Of course. Yeah.
but it's all it's very simple, fast paced, and just kind of that. It's got a very fun tactile experience
Yeah.
to it with great
It's
table
like a
presence.
King of the Hill type.
Yeah,
presence.
it's just we were
King of
like
the banana.
King
yes.
of the Banana. Okay, the hill of
The banana
bananas.
hill.
Yeah,
Yes,
and we
banana.
feel like it fits right in with games like Potion Explosion and Raise Your Goblets that
Okay.
just encourage people to. It's like really just look at it, right, and just
Yeah.
have fun with that.
Yeah. There's a centerpiece and everybody plays around it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so this we don't have the final price on it yet.
Okay.
And it's coming out in Q3.
Okay.
So it's coming up, and we're excited. It's just another one of those kind of light games that people can pick up if you're saying don't have time for a Rising Sun or something like that. It just gives something a little something different.
All right. Very cool. All right. Well, I guess, guys, we thank you so much for stopping by and showing off Banana Powers. But this is called Banana Bandits.
Yes.
And so thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining us. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Okay.
We went over, didn't we?
No, probably just by a little
had me
bit.
at banana.
Now, was that their entire time, or was that just the first time?
No, that was
Okay.
35 minutes.
Okay.
That was the 35 minutes.
So now we're going over there.
5 for
Now we're going
questions and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, dude.
Hey, thank you guys for stopping by. You take that with you. Take that with you.
We'll need to hear you on the
Yeah,
questions.
you'll need to be over there.
Boo.
Oh, this is for fan questions?
Yeah.
I wanted to stop passing it back and forth.
They're all
between
going
these
to
two
ask
guys.
about Banana Bandits.
They should. It's a fun game.
I didn't actually, I've only got
I'm going to bring these guys over here now, ask them a couple of quick questions here.
Did YouTube have comment questions for Cool Mini? No,
Just a couple.
just one or two.
We need more than one seat. So
Yeah, I don't know.
should we get 2 in position?
One more, because there's 2 here. We need one more.
Okay. No, we're good. You already got another chair? Oh, sorry. Oh, and a bag. Give Mandy that.
All right, so who's joining me over here? Jared is coming over here. Eric?
I don't think Eric.
No? Okay. You're gone. You're out of here, right?
Am I?
I don't know. Oh, you are staying. We were told you were not.
We were told you had to go.
Do
I
we,
was assuming they'd have a question or two.
do we still need 3 chairs then? Oh, looks like we have.
Okay, have a seat.
Oh, Z's going to he's going to get the treatment.
You were getting the powder puff treatment over there. I'm going to ask you the hard hitting questions.
Oh my God, it's over.
Let's do this. Let's stop messing around.
All right. We should have Suze come out here. She'd like crush us all.
No, Ozzy's got this.
All right.
I got all my questions from her actually. No one asked anything.
Now I'm a suit.
Can you help me actually, Sue's over there, and then field the questions for me a little bit? Just in case
Got
anything
you.
else shows up
I
while
got you.
while I'm talking. Okay.
Got you.
All right, so let's do a little rapid fire action here, guys. You ready? Okay. The Grizzled campaign. You guys have announced the Grizzled campaign, is that right?
Have we?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not trying to trap you. I'm asking.
Man, Z, the master
no.
of gotcha.
No?
Yeah.
No.
Good
Okay.
opener. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. You got us.
No. Okay.
You
okay.
did it.
So that's a no.
Oh, Jared, you have to pass around the mic.
Nope. You just have to yell over here.
got a shotgun.
Oh, you do. Okay. Okay.
Is it pointed at me?
Godfather MSRP
80.
Yep.
80. Asked that.
Hard hitting.
Okay, a lot of people are actually very excited about Lorenzo Il Magnifico, and they're asking if you have any more release info on that, when that's coming out.
So I think on that one we are targeting I believe that's Q3. So I don't have the exact date just yet.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, it's coming soon. But yeah, Q3
That's a
is
non-Kickstarter one?
It's not
correct. We are
direct to retail.
bringing it over. Same one that people have seen, but now we're making it widely available.
Okay,
so.
same artwork, all of that?
Yep.
Because that's another question.
Yes.
Done. For some reason, even though The Godfather is not out, people want to know about a Godfather expansion.
Oh, internet, I love you. I love you so much. This is us.
They want to know about The Godfather 2, and if there's plans, again, don't shoot the messenger here, guys, to incorporate.
Can you point the
second? Point the shotgun right at me. To incorporate the second movie into the game.
Well, I mean, one of the things that was such a joy about the Godfather is that we do a wide range of games, right? So we do games with lots of expansions. Godfather is a hermetically sealed, full experience. Of course, there are hooks for expansions as needed, but for now, it's Godfather. This is the Godfather game.
Checking it out. Tin suitcases that were in that you were showing up there, that's included, that's in the game.
Those were the final ones.
Those are the finals.
Very cool. They wanted to know about a Bloodborne expansion, and again, have you announced that?
Well, I've been unofficially talking about it on Twitter, and I'm allowed to, but so what I can say is it fleshes out Bloodborne in the way that we've been listening to a lot of fan questions, a lot of feedback.
Okay.
So it's fleshing out the game in exactly the way that I think most people want us to flesh it out. We're not reinventing the game completely, but we're just doing lots of cool, more stuff in all the areas that you would think we expand, and a couple of little surprises.
Okay, I'm gonna cross that out. Song of Ice and Fire. You guys talked a lot about the minis, and by the way, we need to show those off because they'll shoot me if I don't.
Yeah, please.
But I wanted to ask more specifically about gameplay a little bit.
Yep.
If you guys can go just briefly into how the gameplay itself is gonna work.
Guile's a really practiced pitch for this.
Yes, Guile can kind of expand
Because
I don't think
they
we
shoot Z, right?
touched on the.
How do we do? You want me to hold these up?
Yes. And then I'll. Right there is perfect. That's right on the crosshair. So. Okay, that's creepy.
Are you eating them?
No, I was smiling behind you.
Okay, a little bit. Lift your hand. Lift your hand.
So our song game is basically a regimental rank and file type of game, which means that while you do get all the many miniatures on the table while you're playing, they are divided into units. There's a plastic tray that groups them up.
Okay.
And that's what you control when you're playing the game. So it does give you the sense of scale, but it plays very easily. So basically on your turn, you will choose and activate one of your units. You get to pivot, move, and then do attacks. Of course, there are a number of type of attacks. You can charge, you can just straight up line up to them and attack. So it's all like the whole system is designed to be. There you go. Yeah. The whole system is designed to be as intuitive and accessible as possible.
When you say units, he means like a whole tray.
The whole tray.
So you move them tray at a time.
Yes. That would hold them together. I mean, physically.
So they all fit. There's a little divot they just stick into. And to be clear, because it was one of my favorite parts of the game, is that the unit has its stats. Right, they have stat cards that show that they have a number of different stats. Not like it's not going to be crazy different from what you're
overwhelming.
expecting. Right, there's 3 stats, and then. But the heroes will actually be adding to that, so they'll be adding a whole new characteristic to the unit.
Mm-hmm.
So it does matter whether you put the mountain in or whether you put Sandor Clegane in or something like that.
Got it. Okay. Anything over there?
Yeah, we have. This is specifically for Eric. American politics game.
Nope.
Okay.
Done.
That was
Next.
it. All right, next. How soon until the rulebook will be ready for Rising Sun?
We're shooting to have it by the end of the campaign, before the end of the campaign, but that's the best we have right now.
Okay.
Okay, and I have one for you guys, and this is just something I'm very curious about. What considerations for you guys go into the decision to go to Kickstarter or not go to Kickstarter? What goes into that? Why some and not others? Where's that line there and the reason behind it?
I guess we're still, as a company, we're still also finding out where the line exactly is, because some of our games we do go through Kickstarter, some other games, even big box games that we saw with Godfather, we don't.
Right. Yeah.
So basically, as of right now, our core type of game, the game with tons of molds and miniatures, are being pushed through Kickstarter because there are, in the process of producing them, there's a lot more involved.
Yeah.
So and Kickstarter works also as a good way to get the word out there, right? It's very good to create all the buzz around the game. So we're still, as a company, still trying to find where the line exactly is.
Yeah. I mean, they're all. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is part of that also like Eric was saying, if something is hermetically sealed, that's like ready to go. You can just publish that as opposed to something that could be expandable and
that's a
the
design
audience kind of has a.
That's a design consideration. So I knew, for example, when we did Godfather, I knew it would not be a Kickstarter game, so I designed it specifically for that. So that sometimes it's chicken and egg, but it isn't.
I mean, and part of it is like I was saying. So we're still learning and growing and changing, but we just wanted to make sure too that we are supporting the retailers with things that didn't hit Kickstarter first. Even with that, we've got the Kickstarter retailer pledges, but we've grown so much that we don't, because part of it too is overwhelming. Like we don't want to like flood the market with our Kickstarters, but we also don't want to prevent retailers from having their own things that they can say, no, you can only get those from us. You couldn't have got them, online. So, and that's just, as Giles said, it's a balance that we strike and
you can also see as a company we're always trying new things with the way we market our games. We've been doing some retailer pledges, I guess. With Song, we're trying something different as well. We will Kickstart only a part, so only the entry into the world will be Kickstarter, but the large scope of the product, like the unit boxes and new factions, all of that goes straight to retail because we want you support and want the product to have a strong presence in retail.
And we know it can only last that way. If the retail stores are bringing in those customers, playing in that store, getting those new items.
Okay. I guess she has more questions.
I do. I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Third game for Eric's band, Blood Rage, Rising Sun, ... What's next?
Ellipse.
That's the name.
Right.
I can't. Clearly, I cannot
like
say.
that's going to be like hashtag Ellipse now for a while, right? Ellipse is coming. Watch out. Oh boy.
I clearly can't
this
say.
Is
we're
the distant ancestors monopoly. Hold on. Ooh.
Well, distant ancestors Ellipse is a period, sir. But this is it's a big box game. I'm working on it currently, but we want to focus on Rising Sun. So this game will not be ready for a while.
Okay, cool. But it's in the works. There you go. Ravenous masses, you. All right, cool.
My favorite.
Anything else? No?
Organized play for Song.
Yes, so Song of Ice and Fire is one of the prime products in which Organized Play will focus on as well. At the launch of the game, planned for March 2018, we already will have an Organized Play kit for Stark and Lannister, and then as we go into new factions, we'll also have Organized Play for the other factions. So yes, it'll be a big part of it.
Yeah, it's launching day one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Let me ask you, Eric, a question. With your new position in the company, are you going to be more hands-on with games from other designers?
Yes.
You're going to be, is it a developer capacity that you're taking on in that case?
Well, I'm the director of game design, so I'll be working with the development team. So I'm leading that team through the development process all games. So our team's already amazing and they're doing a really good job. So my work is going to be, I'll be working with other designers on their games, probably more on the vision side.
Okay.
The development team is going to do the development thing that they do. But yes, of course, I will be involved in other people's games. That's part of what I'm really looking forward to, because I'm doing fewer games and concentrating a lot deeper on them. And I kind of want every game to be a Blood Rage, right? So like it's
no pressure.
No pressure. I used to do a lot of development work in my past, and I really liked it. And that mix is something I'm really looking forward to.
Okay. Cool. I think that's it. I think I'm going to stop torturing you guys. That's good stuff. That's good info.
Oh, she has so many more questions.
Oh, you got more?
As soon as you said that,
we can take it, man.
Yeah.
What else we got? Okay, hit me again.
right.
Hit me, I say, like I'm
gotta go,
doing
right?
anything. No, we got to wrap up?
Go.
Okay, we have to wrap up.
All right.
All right, it's Z's
Always
fault,
leave
man.
them wanting
Sorry,
more.
guys.
That's all me. Blame me.
And no
All right.
Geddy Lee impression. They asked. No.
No, not going to happen. Ellipses on it. All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right,
very
cool.
much.
Let me get that mic off of you.
All right.
We got to do the
Talking
thing.
to you guys.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, boom. Oh, I missed that part. Next time we'll get them. All right, cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, fellas. Those minis are awesome.
They are ridiculous.
Yeah, here. All right. Are we off of here?
You're still technically live. But
Is my mic on? My mic on? off.
Oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I'm out.
All day.
No, no, thank you. No, thank you. Okay, you ready? Get ready, mic'd up.
Yeah, the mics are live.
I am live. Oh, they can hear anything I say?
Anything you say.
Are we live?
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? I don't
Fantastic.
know. Let's find out.
What's the border here? The border
You're pretty much like the whole box isn't in frame.
Yeah, that's
but
what I want.
They might be able to see it forward on.
Yep.
They'll see all that forward on.
Sounds good. Okay, so what I would like to do, I think, is talk like just for how much time do we have total?
20. Or well, we.
You tell me.
15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Right? Are we?
So 5 minutes on the previous 2 games, and then all the rest on Apocrypha.
Let's do it.
Okay.
You want to start on the other games first? Then?
Yeah. Because otherwise, we'll just keep talking about this, and we'll never get to them.
Okay.
That's what
Okay.
happens. That's
All
what
right.
happens with this game.
Oh.
Is that people just
Well,
keep
stop
asking
making cool
questions.
games.
No, I'm cool. I'm fine with that. I just would like to get.
All right.
Get some of the things out of the way, and then so essentially we're just talking that we're showing off 3 games here, and go from there.
I think our mics are a lot hot, so we can send secret messages to YouTubers right now. And be like, be like secret code.
I'll just keep.
To get free copies of Apocrypha,
Yeah,
all you have to do is find Mike and tell him
That's
the
a
goose
terrible message.
laid the egg,
It's terrible.
but the weevil is on its way.
The weevil's on its way.
How many games are going to be discussed?
We're just
32.
32 games. We're
3.
All
2.
of the games between now and the rest of time. No,
Yeah.
we're going to talk briefly about the Ninth World and Thornwatch.
Okay.
I'll show a few components of that, but then we'll spend the rest of the time on Apocrypha.
Excellent.
But you do need to zip.
We're
running behind.
No worries.
So if you can shoot for the 10-minute mark, do you want a timer running or?
Yeah, I'm gonna need some. I'm gonna lose track of
Can we
time.
have
I just
15?
get so wrapped up.
Can we
Mike.
have 15?
Pardon?
Can we have 15 total?
We can do 15 total, but it will truncate the QA afterwards.
The QA?
Yeah, because so you go from here to there and you do like a live Q&A.
Oh,
So, yeah.
I go there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I see. I totally missed
So you
that.
have 15 here, but then you can we'll shorten that time.
We'll
back.
figure it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Then if that's the case, there's no problem.
Okay.
And this is just going to be a stopwatch running. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So,
So 10 here,
15
10
mark.
here, and then 5
I also
there.
love like wildly waving arms.
Yeah, that's
like
always
that's always good too.
Thrown objects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
We're good.
If you see me start to explode in a big pool of blood, you'll know it's too long.
I don't want that.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
That's not what we
Okay.
want.
We are ready when you are.
I am ready now.
That's okay. You ready?
Yeah, I'm just throwing some.
You don't look ready. Oh!
Or everything could break and everyone would die.
Behind the scenes action. Okay.
One last card. Then I'm ready. Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's Selinker, right? Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, we're not telling anybody that now.
Selinker.
They had me as Slinkier.
Slinkier? Okay.
No, Selinker. That's right.
All right. Are we ready to rock and roll?
Yep.
Is there rolling and rocking? Yes. All right.
Is there visuals?
1 and 2 and 3 and go down.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Dice Towers live coverage at the GAMA 2017 show here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Sitting with me right now is Mike Selinker from Lone Shark Games.
This is truth.
This is I never lie, Mike.
No,
Come
I
on.
have complete confidence in you, Suzanne.
And so I know we have this big, beautiful display
we're
here,
gonna
but
get to
we're not
this.
going to talk to.
Just put this out of your mind.
What do you got hidden over there?
Okay,
Because
okay.
that's pretty stunning too.
We came with 3 big games to the Lone Shark booth here at the GAMA Trade Show. 2 of them have been in development for a long time. One is fairly new to us. Your viewers probably have heard about it a little. The first is The Ninth World. It is a collaboration with Monty Cook Games. And what it is it's a game set 1 billion years in the future. That's Ilion with a B. And so there's all sorts of stuff littered around from the previous civilizations of man all over the place, and you get to find them and put them on your head and hope they're not squids that eat your head, right? So I'll show you a few cards from that just at the moment. We have, so if you can see, we have
like character cards, like one of them's a robot.
Wow, the art is gorgeous.
Oh
on
yeah,
this.
this is really going to be one of the prettier games we've ever done. And there's all sorts of places you can go. Like there's an Amber Monolith.
So you're saying that this is a collaboration with Monty Cook. So is the Monty Cook team helping you with the
they've been
story
great.
crafting and all that stuff? Because their RPGs and stuff are.
Yeah. No, it has been mind blowing. So Shauna Germain is the sort of novelist there.
Shauna's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's written all the flavor text for the game.
Oh,
and so I get it in my
want.
inbox every day, and it's just like, holy cow, why are you this good? And Monty has been sort of my creative director for the whole thing. We've known each other for, it's got to be 20 years now, and we've never really made a game together. And so it was
It's
just
about
like
darn time. It's about darn time.
yeah, so Bart Doon time. Paul Peterson, Bo Radakovich have been instrumental in making this game work. It's a really great collaboration. I think it's going to be good. So
that is?
That is The Ninth World, a skill-building game for Numenera, and it will be out later this year.
Later this year?
It's real close to done. It's probably about 2 months away from us being done with it, and then the printing gods will decide whether they shine their light on us. And yes, and so.
And then is that going to go direct to market, or is that going to be like a Kickstarter, or do you?
We did a Kickstarter for it. It went very well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I remember.
we did that's fine. We did a Kickstarter for it. It went very well. All the Monty Cook Games people came out and helped us with that. And yeah, it'll be out real soon, and it's really pretty and really fun. And
awesome.
it's both cooperative and competitive. You can do either one as much as you like. So that's that game.
Speaking of really pretty.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say which of these is the
That's
prettiest
true.
game.
Fair enough,
It's
fair
like
enough.
choosing between your children. So this one's not as far along. It is called Thornwatch. It is part of the new Ironwood Adventures line. We're going to do 3 giant games in that category, in that brand. We're doing it in collaboration with our friends and neighbors at Penny Arcade.
Okay.
Yes, so Mike Krahulik and Jerry Holkins came to us with this beautiful world, of this fantasy forest where is infected by this horrible thing called the Ebb. And so there's 3 factions that stop people from getting killed all the time. There's these Boy Scouts called the Lookouts, Boy and Girl Scouts, that are getting badges for hunting manticores and stuff like that. There's the Daughters, who are these druidesses who try to shape the forest in the way that they can to make people safe. And then finally there's the Thornwatch, where they are ghostly spirits that are summoned like the A-Team to come out and save people. And so we're starting to develop that. The game is pretty far along. The artwork is
these are just so rich and
be
beautiful.
amazing.
Yeah.
Tokens, nice thick cardboard, chipboard, and great characters. The whole intent of this game, as you'll notice, there are borders to these things. They are not going away. The idea is that they will make a comic book.
Oh, so the lines are intentional to look like panels.
Like panels.
How clever.
And you'll go from there, you'll move around and different things will happen. There's all sorts of storyboards that Mike and Jerry are crafting with us, and we got a great team on that. Rodney Thompson, who did Lords of Waterdeep, Chad Brown, who's my lead developer on the Pathfinder Adventure card game, and Mike and Jerry and me. It's going to be great.
It looks and sounds amazing. I love that. I was in the Girl Scouts, and I don't remember getting my Manticore badge, but
were you too busy
focused
focused on basilisks?
Yeah, that might have been it.
Yeah,
That's
a common dichotomy. Right, I mean, you either go for flying creatures or
the ground.
Yeah, no,
okay.
And I'm sure you and your fellow scouts, all of them survived. I'm sure that happened.
Moving right along.
So that's Thornwatch. It will. We haven't set a date on it yet, although it seems real likely that there's this convention called PAX Unplugged. That's going to happen in Philadelphia in November, and there's going to be a lot of PAX tabletop fans there. We'd really like to have it there.
Those matching up would make a lot of sense.
We'd really like that to work. A lot has to go right for that to work, because we have an insane amount of art to make. Right?
Yeah.
But it seems really good. So that's our plan for that, and I hope people like it.
Okay, so that's Thornwatch.
We should talk about this giant thing.
This giant thing here.
Okay, so a lot of people have heard about this. We've been working on this for 6 years.
Yeah.
This is my follow-up to both Betrayal at House on the Hill and the Pathfinder Adventure card game.
I've never heard of those games. Huh?
Oh,
Okay.
they're little indie games. You'll find them. They're like 2-page PDFs.
Awesome. I'll have to look them up after this.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
So those games did okay for me. So I decided to take some of both of those and then grab DNA from a lot of other places. Apocrypha is a multi-part game. It's set today, always today. Whatever day it is, it's that day.
Today's Pi Day, so that's great.
Pi Day, exactly. And so what we're going to do is every day we're going to change the game. Every day we're going to announce something different about the game for at least a year.
You mean
literally live?
Like literally announcing. It's not like, oh, I'm flipping a card. No, you.
Every day.
Oh my gosh.
Something will be different about the game.
So that's like hugely interactive on really an unprecedented level.
So the idea is like if you're playing this game on Christmas and you're playing the mission Christmas in Candlepoint, well, it's going to be different that day. Or if you're playing against the Skinwalkers, which are our lycanthropes, if there's a full moon, that will matter. Right?
Oh my gosh.
And so we're going to have a lot of ways that we interact with fans that way. I should really sort of go down on a more elemental level of what is the game.
We've got so much stuff here, and we haven't even tapped into the box.
Yeah. This is the most art I have ever commissioned for any game, and that includes any trading card game, Pathfinder Adventure card game, and stuff like that. There's over 600 pieces of art in this game. They're all beautiful. The general concept is you are a saint, which is somebody who can see that there are monsters in the world. Nobody else can, which drives you crazy because if you could just say, look, over there is a werewolf, and everybody goes, ha, 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 werewolves. And it's like, oh no, we got to take these things seriously. So you can see them. The only downside is they can see you. And so they would like to foil your plans. The apocalypse is coming. Not just one apocalypse, literally all the apocalypses. We took everything we could find. We have Mayan mythology and Judeo-Christian and fiction and everything we could think of that was going to end the world. We decided to end the world that way all the time. Now,
you're going to go big, you know.
No guarantee that the world's going to end. But so the general concept is that you have a saint. You have, as you can see, the characters here.
Right. So we have basically 4 rows, just for examples, right? We have like rows of cards, and you have 4 different characters.
That's right. So each character has their own divider. This is one of the few games where I literally have to write a blog post about the dividers because each of them has information about the characters on the back and the cards that they start with. In addition, some of the dividers have the broken up parts of a story called Katie Impact's Last Jam, which is about a rollerblader who gets killed and whatever. There's so much story in this game. There is, I swear to God, over 100 pages of story in this game. And I didn't write it all. I read a lot of it, but I didn't write it all. We got Pat Rothfuss and Kidge Johnson and Matt Forbeck and Bruce Cordell and Aaron Evans and all these people who are really, really good at writing fiction. And then I just sort of tried to keep up with all of them. And I'm going to turn my phone off now.
Like, Mike, we see you on YouTube. We can see you.
You guys can just chill. I'm talking here. The adults are talking. Where was I? Oh, people writing things. People writing things. The concept is that it takes place all over the North American continent. And so there's a chapter set in Mexico. There's a chapter set in the northern parts of Canada. There's one in Chicago. So our skinwalkers are all street gangs in Chicago, and the golems are all like robots and drones and secret codes in the Seattle, San Francisco corridor and things like that. You move around from story to story. You can literally play this game in any order. There are 99 scenarios in the game, 99 missions in the game, including our promo missions. You can jump from chapter to chapter. There's kind of a little smash-up thing going on where you take all the black cards and then one chapter's colored cards, you mix them together, play a game, and then when you want to move to somewhere else, you just take out the colored cards, drop in a different colored set of cards, and you get a totally different experience.
Wow.
So there's lots of card types. It'll take a while to go through them. I'm not going to do that. But you can see there's like omens and nexuses that have different art on both sides. There's structures that there's no canonical way to start, stop, or play the game. You have to build that. For like this one mission will require you to gather a bunch of children together who are in danger, right, and so forth. There's threats, there's gifts, there's all sorts of things, and then most importantly over here, this is kind of where I want to end this with, although you can feel free to ask more. You're a giant superhero. You're incredibly powerful.
Thank you.
You personally. The problem is you've forgotten everything about what makes you a superhero, and so. Every time you play this game, you get a memory, and the memories are again written by really great authors. So there's like a Pat Rothfuss one in there, and just various other folks, and they give you superpowers. So your brain expands as you play this game, and you start building your character out in a very weird way, and so by the end, you're going to be a totally different character than you started.
This is immense and epic and so just rich. I can't wait. What are we looking at for a release date to the public?
So we are announcing this today right here. We are, we're a young company. We don't have the ability to control our printing presses or anything like that. But we finally are very confident that this is going to come out in Q3 of 2017. We have every intention of having it at Gen Con and PAX West. Fill it to our Kickstarter backers first, of course, because that's always the right thing to do. That's box 1, which is the world. There are 2 other boxes. Box 2 is the flesh. That will come out later this the end of this year. The flesh, and then the devil comes out early next year.
All right. Well, there you go. If you are interested in Apocrypha, now you know when you can start getting your hands on it. Mike, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
Suzanne.
This sounds incredible. And thank you, everybody, for watching our segment with Mike from Lone Shark Games. Have a great day, and we will see you soon.
All right.
Oh, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
So why don't we...
I'm going there?
Yeah, you're going to move there.
Okay. What about this?
Well, I mean, I can pack it up as neatly as I can, and
Just
then you might
tell
have to do some
Here's my
work.
suggestion. Put everything in this channel.
Yes, sir.
Right? And then I'll build it back.
Aye, Captain.
Okay.
Aye, Captain.
All right. And then this stuff, just leave. Well,
Okay, so if you guys
I
have
knocked that off in the
questions for Lone Shark
Did,
Games, now is the time. Get them in right now. No.
Here? Like right here?
Right here beside me.
I love this plan.
Yay.
Wow, it's like I'm watching my past.
I know. And I got some questions for you.
I love
That's
this
even better.
Oh, from the viewers?
From what you guys were talking about. Yeah, so we're
Fantastic.
just kind of setting up, but we can get into it. So I'm going to start with my question, because I asked this. The pronunciation, so the name, I want to know how that came to be.
Sure.
Apocrypha. Am I saying that right?
You're saying it great.
All right, perfect.
The Apocrypha are it's a word that's used to mean a lot of things, but the most common use of it is the books of the Bible that aren't part of the Bible, right? So they're like the books that people are like, yeah, these are real, I promise, right? And other people are like, no, those aren't legit. So we as you can see, we appropriated everything in this game. So we decided that to use that concept of these are canon of the story of the world, but yet nobody believes them.
Okay.
Right, so that's our sort of theory. It's the Apocrypha. The full name of the game is the Apocrypha Adventure Card Game, just like the Pathfinder Adventure Card Game, where you're dealing with, a cooperative game that everybody can play together and advances over time. So that's where the game came from. Now, the world, the flesh, and the devil.
Okay.
That is also those are the 3 temptations of man. And so we said, all right, those are good names for boxes, because we knew we had 3 of them. If we'd had 4, we'd come up with something else.
Exactly. It's enticing. It
Yes.
makes people want to play, right?
Yeah, some people, it's really funny to fill out things like an order form for the flesh. Right?
It just sounds
yeah,
odd.
it's like, I'd like 4 of the flesh, please. Yeah. Okay.
Appropriate.
How about some of the devil? Would you like that too? Works
Whole
for
other
us.
thing.
Works for us.
So quickly, retail price. That's someone had popped that up.
So the base game is, I don't know if I have a final on that. There's a lot that's happening at the GAMA trade show about that, and in our discussion with distributors. I believe it's going to be in the $80 price range,
point?
and that the expansions, I believe, are going to be $40 a piece. But honestly, let's be clear. This is in the sand.
Okay.
Right. So, but by the end of the week, we will probably have finalized those numbers.
Okay, that gives people an idea.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what they were looking for.
Yep.
So a question for me, actually, why the decision not to use miniatures?
We don't make miniatures.
You just don't?
No, and the absolute reason is this: we as a company don't know how to make miniatures.
Okay.
What we know how to make is incredibly rich storytelling card games
Right.
with boards and pawns and things like that. The science of making miniatures is an incredible. The people I know who make them are just simply the best in the world at it. I've got great friends at Privateer. I've got great friends at WizKids and so forth, and they're better at it than I will ever be, and there's no reason I want to compete with them. But what I do know we're very good at is if you want to play a game that has a rich story laid out on a diverse amount of cards and books and stuff like that, I don't think you can do better than us. So we do what we're good at, not what we're not good at.
And that's, honestly, I used to be a teacher. That's a very good way to say it.
Yeah. And by the way, one other thing, the people who make miniatures games, they tend to make a lot of miniatures, right? Like they tend, like you just had CMON on here.
Yes.
They make let's just put 1,000 miniatures in this box.
Right.
We're not making 1,000 of anything that aren't little sleeves of little bits of card stock, right? Like,
No.
So, more power to them. That's not my thing.
No, but that's good. And then you focus on what you guys do well. I think that's perfect.
And people seem to like it.
Exactly. Something wrong with that. We do have a question from online. Will the cartoon still be conveyed in any other way than the graphic style of the board, and how accessible is the game? And I think this is relating to
Thornwatch.
Thornwatch, excuse me,
to
yes.
Thornwatch. Okay. Well, let me. I understand the first question. I'm not sure I completely understand the second question. So Mike Krahulik is the cartoonist behind Penny Arcade, and what he knows how to do is draw cartoons.
Okay.
And so, but he also wants to be a game designer, and he's really good at it, which is fantastic. So we have basically built in the sort of comic book storytelling style into the game. There's a point where you play a little game and monsters move around the board and whatever, and then there's a fork of decision making. Do you want to follow this trail? Do you want to do this? As if like we're transitioning between issues of a comic book, and then the whole environment that you're in is just eye-popping. It's coming off, all the elements are just jumping off the page at you. You'll notice that if you look real close at that video, the backgrounds are actually kind of soft focus. Right? Because we want the characters to just jump off and so it's a really different storytelling style. It's a new thing for me too, actually. I've never really done a comic book style game other than like the Marvel Superheroes Adventure game like 400 years ago, and so I think it'll be a good match. I think the question about accessibility is maybe about diversity. Is that, you think?
I have a feeling that's probably what
Okay,
we're touching on.
so I have a lot of strong opinions about that subject.
Okay, if you had to narrow it down.
So I'm gonna
yes.
bring it down to this.
Right.
There are two versions of every character in the game. They are not identified as male or female.
Okay.
And so but they have characteristics that you might be able to imply some gender leaning one way or another. There is, so for Thornwatch and for Lookouts, which is the next game, you can be a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout. You can be, or anything in between, right? For daughters, we have a very interesting discussion to have, right? Because we're trying to figure out, like, the story is really about young girls who become these powerful druidesses.
Right.
So we're still talking about that, but it's cool that we're talking, right? It's cool that we're like having these discussions live in public about races and genders and identity and stuff like that. My hope is that a generation of girls will grow up playing daughters, and that will be their intro to board games and role-playing games, and they'll just go from there and never think about it again. Never think it's not for them.
That's perfect, and that's what we want.
I would hope so.
That was a great question. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry to get to all your questions, but thanks
well,
for
you can find me. I mean, if you people have questions out there, you can find me at Mike Selinker on Twitter and my Facebook page. I'm very accessible, and so if anybody has questions, Board Game Geek, whatever, I'm happy to answer them because we really just like talking about our games.
Perfect. There you have it. See you guys next time. Bye. Thank you so much.
Yay.
That was great.
Okay, I'll take that. Oh, no, I'm keeping.
Sorry. We've gone through 12 mics today. All right.
Suzanne,
Thank
I'm
you.
throwing audio to you, so just know that.
All right, so Kurt, he's throwing audio to us, so now is where we can say anything secret that we want to say to the Dice Tower people.
Mike. And they're probably lives that can hear you as of now.
Ooh, what secret should we tell? Slaving names. All right. Wait for the, they'll give us their fancy hand signals, and then we'll know. And then we'll talk to the people.
Okay.
And inform the people. I'm excited to hear about biotics. That's cool. Biotics. Biotics.
It's a
Biotics
common
sounds
mistake.
more like a robotic dog issue than anything like that. Yeah, right. Okay. They're changing the frame so that your logo and stuff is showing up on your video. If you'd like to have Loan Shark Games logo on your video, we can leave it up there for you. That's
May not do better.
Yeah, that might be a little confusing. This is cool. That just seems ominous.
It is.
It's pointing at me. What's up with that? Come on, Kurt.
Sorry to say.
Well, it was a good run. It was a good run. Come on, son. What's going on there?
It's a lot to resize.
Oh, right. That.
The logo that we had for Smirk Dagger was like.
Oh.
Epic logo.
Well, my logo doesn't come small.
All right.
We're good whenever you're ready.
All right, great. You ready?
I'm ready.
Awesome. Welcome back, everybody, to the Dice Towers coverage here at GAMA 2017, live in Las Vegas.
Very exciting.
Hello. Sitting next to me, we have Kurt from Smirk Dagger Games.
Hey there.
And you've brought some treats for us to look at. And which one would you like to talk about first?
So we're going to start with the game that we're launching in August for Gen Con.
Okay.
It's called Paramedics Clear. And this is an absolute pulse-pounding, high-tension game of trying to save as many lives as you can in a very short amount of time, and you likely can't save them all.
Ooh.
Yeah. So in the game, you are playing a paramedic, and everyone takes their turn in order, and those turns are timed. So there is a companion app that is a digital timer with 60, 45, and 30-second turns. So as the game progresses, you have less and less time, and it gets even more gut-wrenching. Yeah. What you're trying to do is you're trying to save patients. Okay. So you flip over patients on your gurney, and you start assessing what they need. Now, they have medical needs that you need to treat them with. So by paying the formula for that type of thing to Blue, I can now give him something. And as long as I give him one thing, he's sustained and safe for the turn.
Okay.
I can now pay another one, drop this guy, he's safe. And you start managing your hand and the resources to keep people alive. Now, if you fill them all up, they go off to the hospital where they are worth points. So 3 points for this guy if you save him. But if you lose him, it's 2, because patients do die because you just can't do everything in enough time and then hit clear and just, so and then the next person's turn starts immediately right after that.
Okay.
So it's just nonstop tension, and as you're waiting for someone else's turn to go, you're trying to look at your cards, have a plan, and get ready to go because especially late in the game, 30 seconds is all you have to do everything. Now you can upgrade your rig, add extra cabinets, larger hand size, pay for a medevac, so in case you get really caught up, you can just say, all right, medevac, if it's ready, you fly them out and they're saved. But anytime you empty the main gurney, you end up having to triage 2 new patients, choose one and give someone else a patient for their backup gurney.
Oh, wow.
Now, you can potentially control, do you think they're going to be able to handle that particular patient? And so there's a little bit of conniving in there. But the biggest problem is not all patients can be treated over time. If it's a critical patient, you have to treat them completely and get them to the hospital in that turn, even if you just flipped it over and you've got 10 seconds left. So this is where you start to lose people. People are just going crazy, racing around. Maybe they don't have the right resources they need, and maybe they called for backup. I need backup on yellow, and someone's like, no, I don't have that for you.
So there's like a little negotiation trading
there's
element?
a little
Okay.
bit, yeah. But in general, you are so focused on your turn and trying to save as many people as you can, especially when you're learning the game, that there's not a whole lot of time for backstabbing, which is kind of unusual for us. But when you get good, then some of those things start sneaking into play, and you play a little bit more competitively.
Well, like I can see on your critical card here, there's a lot of points if you save them, but you don't lose quite as many points if they fail.
Because as a paramedic, hey, some you can't save. So really, kudos to you if you can save them, that critical guy. But no one's, Whereas if you've got someone that you really should have saved, it might be low points, but it might be a really bad negative because you should have had them.
Sure.
Come on, rookie.
So we've got like some resource and hand management,
Yep.
timed turns.
Yes.
All right, that's cool. And very thematic.
Yes, and the best thing about the game is the emotion that you have playing it. It is tense. You're constantly on, and when people are done playing, it's like, whew, okay, wow, good game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome. And so you were saying August?
August. Yep. So we'll have this for Gen Con.
And it plays 1 to 4?
1 to 4. Yeah. You
Okay.
can play it solo, but I think it really comes to life with 3 and 4 players.
Sure, of course, as you kind of have that thing. You're putting other people in other people's grenades
Yeah.
and things like that. And I got to say, is this the final cover art?
It is. It's gorgeous, isn't it?
I love it. This
Yeah.
is like, I feel like the stress coming out of the art itself, so it really sets the tone right
Yeah,
there.
worked hard with Eric Wilkerson to do that.
Okay,
and
great.
We actually had a live model pose for it because I wanted the actual drama to come through in that face.
Yeah, it's a great cover for a lot of reasons. I love it. So thank you for that. And then do you know what the MSRP will be on this one?
I'm still confirming, but I think it's going to be $39.99.
Okay.
And again, it comes with a free companion app as well. So
Which I always love that,
Yeah.
so that's great. And I know that, so that's Paramedics Clear. I know that
Correct.
you've got something else here for us to peek at.
do.
So should we put this aside for
Yeah.
real quickly and then take a look at the next thing? Got it? Okay.
La, la, la,
And this looks
la.
intriguing to me,
Indeed.
colorful and bright.
And you will notice we have all these fun little meeple friends as well.
Which, yeah, I know it's hard to see on the camera and it won't pick it up, but they all have different faces.
They do.
They're really rather adorable.
There we are.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Biotics.
All right.
And Biotics is, it's one of those, like, it's a tiny little box and it's a very approachable, casual style game where you are a lab assistant trying to create a petri dish filled with as many microbes as you can, but they're extremely volatile, meaning that if they get overpopulated, they explode in all kinds of fun and interesting ways.
Okay.
So you are, every turn, drawing 2 of these little guys out of the bag. And you can either add them to your petri dish for points or try to blow someone else's up by overpopulating them.
Okay.
And they all have different effects. So, for example, the blues, if I overpopulate blues, you have to hand away each of those to other players and trash the rest.
Okay.
Whereas the yellows, if I get more than one of those, they're extremely volatile, it blows up and I must give away 3 of my other little meeples to other players, where they can cause chain reactions.
Right.
Some of them just force you to sacrifice. Some will allow you to blow these up and now steal 2 from other players. Purples, if they get too many, they blow up and it kills every purple on the table. So the scores go up and down all over the map during play until someone draws the timer out of the bag. That ends the scoring round, of which there are 3. Each little microbe that you still have on your petri dish counts as points, and the more volatile, like this one,
Which is super volatile.
super volatile, 15 points to have them on your dish. But you risk blowing everything up by having them.
Right, and you don't know when that game's going to end.
Exactly right.
All right.
So there's a lot of up and down and craziness to it. This is going to be ready for International Tabletop Day. We're one of 6 games that are kind of getting a little featured billing on that. And we'll have, as well as the base game itself launching, there is a small mini expansion with specialty meeples, a couple extra rules, and a little deck of cards as well. Which kind of help in the end game. In case you happen to be way behind, and it could happen in this wildly scoring game. Let's say you're 20 points behind, you qualify for the Eureka principle, where you get to choose one of the biotics and a number and secret that underneath your dish. Now, if you end up with that exact amount of that type, you get a 20-point bonus, which puts you neck and neck for the lead, but you still have to score well that round. So,
but now that's part of the Tabletop Day expansion.
Well, normally in the game you just write it down.
Oh,
so
okay.
this is just a nice little,
great. So the rules apply no matter what.
Yes,
the
that's
Tabletop
true.
Day thing is just a special little way of tracking it.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, and it looks like, so it sounds like even if you have a wildly swingy game, that the game's designed to play pretty quickly, so it's not a big deal. It's kind of a filler weight.
It's probably just a little bit longer than filler. It's not a 15-minute game, but it goes to 25 minutes probably with 4 people. So, and it plays 2 to 5. So.
And it sounds like, in keeping with some of your games in general, there's a lot of opportunity to.
It's all about the meta and the
pose.
backstab.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Here, have these microbes.
Yeah. In fact, one of the nice microbes that I actually love is. The aggressive biotics. Aggressive biotics, you'll notice there's no black spot on the card for them.
Right.
When you get one, it forces that player to change one of the existing microbes for this one, where it counts as a negative point instead of a positive point, but it still qualifies as that yellow one it replaced. So if you add another yellow, it still blows up. But now you're trying to manage, negative points are now filtering in. But of course there's a shoot the moon, so if you got nothing but black, now they're all worth 5 points. So there's all kinds of fun twists and turns in the game.
And the components are great, and it's going to be really tactile and fun.
And they're so cute, these little
They're
guys.
adorable.
Yeah,
And you had me custom meeples, so. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing us biotics.
Yes.
Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about while you're here with our wonderful viewers?
What? I don't have anything to support it and show the fans, but Cutthroat Caverns is coming out with expansion 5 this year.
Oh my good gracious.
Also for August, and it is, for fans who know, this is going to be like the must-have one that's probably closest to like Relics and Ruin in terms of what we're offering in the box. It's all based on the incarnation type encounters, which are frequently the hardest, really interesting ones. So all 4 horsemen will be there, including Death himself, and they are just beautiful. Plus, all the events and the relics are designed to complement the powers of those incarnations.
Oh, okay.
As well as there's a new adventure book on the way, also in the box. So that one is also for August, and we're really excited about that one.
Oh, it's not even my usual type of game. I love Cutthroat Caverns so much. Oh my goodness, that's awesome to hear. Well, thank you so much, Kurt, for sharing all this great news and sharing your new games with us. And thank you everybody for watching our time with Kurt from Smirk Dagger Games. We will see you next time.
So long.
Ooh, this is adorable.
Thank you.
I like how mean the kids look. Like they look like they're gonna get sassy up in there. So why don't you?
So if you guys have questions for Smirk and Dagger Games, now's the time to get them in so we can ask them. All right, how are you? Good. All right, so we're getting right to it. Actually, I have a question for you.
Ooh, yes.
So I love the name. Paramedics Clear. Just makes me want to say it. Clear. And someone actually pointed that out. So I love the art. It pops right out at you.
Yes.
I noticed as well with the other games, it seems to have there's this medicine, science. I'm seeing a lot more of that theme come out. Is there a reason for that?
Well, I also noticed that, and I've actually
Right.
had some retailers point out that it's going to be great for them to do like a themed end cap with
Right.
a lot of these. But no, it was not intentional.
Okay.
These were two different designs that came to me from different designers. I fell in love with the designs. Paramedics, because it was so... Oh my God! The emotion that it stirs in you as you play
Right.
is so compelling. I had to publish it, and the Biotics is so cute, and it's a blast to play. Very pokey and fun. So.
And were you reaching out to different audiences with those, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, essentially, all my games kind of appeal to my current fan
course.
base. But what I would say is that Biotics is probably more approachable for more types of players.
Right.
You have to kind of like high-tension games to enjoy Paramedics.
Okay.
If that's not your thing, if you don't like timed games like Fuse and things
Right,
like that,
then not for you.
This is not
Okay.
for you. Yeah.
That's fair.
But yeah, and the artwork is for Paramedics. I just couldn't believe how rich and intense they were able to get that art, and it really mirrors the gameplay a lot.
Which is amazing. That's what makes people want to buy it, right?
Yeah.
So we do have a question here from Andrew. Anything new coming for Nevermore?
So not right now, though I should say Nevermore is going to be part of the Unrivaled tournament championship.
Oh, okay.
So alongside of King Tokyo, Ascension, Munchkin, it's a $250,000 prize pool.
Oh, wow.
So you can go to your local retailer that are sponsoring these event days where it's tournament play, come and play Nevermore, as well as all those other great games.
Right.
And if you qualify, you eventually get to Vegas for a big showdown.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so so that I think is kicking off this spring, and yeah, people should inquire at the retailers if they're going to be running.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to do like a rapid fire because I see question, question,
Oh,
question.
okay.
Okay, ready? Here we go. Release date for Paramedics.
Paramedics will be Gen Con.
Okay. Will they be demoing at Origins?
Yes.
Okay. MSRP of Biotics.
$19.99.
Okay. Anything new for student bodies?
No.
Did I get them all? I think I got them all.
Got 'em all.
Oh,
Oh.
nicely.
One more.
Oh, one more.
How big is the tactical element of Biotics? Seems like it would be random. That's
Yeah, it is actually. I mean, you have the randomness of drawing what you draw in the bag,
Right.
but the tactic comes in where you're going to place them,
Okay.
and when you think that timer is going to actually come out. So there's risk reward involved. Are you going to take those 15 points of that explosive now,
Right.
or do you think someone's going to blow you up before that timer is drawn? Are you going to seed a whole bunch of black aggressives on someone, but then you can't really blow them up because all those are coming back for you. So
Right.
there is a level of strategy that's a little deceptive in the game because it looks so cute and approachable, and it is cute and approachable.
Right.
But
deadly.
But you do, yeah. You kind of there's some strategery in it.
Right, exactly. Nicely said. Very good. I think we covered them all. I think we got them for the most point. Price point and Biotics, did we mention
Yep,
that?
we got
And how many players for each game?
Oh, so Biotics is 2 to 5.
Okay.
And Paramedics is 1 to 4.
1 to 4. All right. I think we got it.
All right.
Nicely done. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Eric, you are on, just so you know.
Yes, we are, at least audio-wise, live. So don't say anything you don't want the internet hearing. Hello, internet. Sure. I'll even put them like this. So
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, and we're just waiting. We're getting the thumbs up, so as soon as we're ready, we can.
All right, we're good.
How's the shot looking, guys? Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Welcome back to the GAMA Trade Show 2017. I'm Eric Summerer. This is Evan from Asmodee North America. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Vegas.
Oh, yes.
So first thing we want to take a look at today is Rune Wars, the miniatures game.
Yes.
Tell us about this thing.
So this is a very small portion of Rune Wars miniatures game. This is by no means everything that you get in the box.
How many figurines?
There are 48 figures.
48 figures in here. Okay.
Yes, they come unpainted and unassembled like a standard miniatures game, but they're very easy to assemble. And then obviously these ones have been painted. So it is a rank and file miniatures game, meaning that the figures are in these kind of ranks, right? They're not all a bunch of individual figures having kind of a skirmish in a forest. This is war on a grand scale.
Okay.
You know, you are commanding in a full game potentially dozens of figures, attempting to destroy your opponent.
And these bases interlock. They're like puzzle pieces, so now you're moving that whole thing as a chunk.
Yes, so the way that movement works, we took a lot of cues from X-Wing, which you may be familiar with.
Yeah.
So every figure, or every unit rather, has one of these command tools, right? It has 2 dials. The left one is the action dial, which kind of determines the main thing this unit is going to do.
Okay.
The one on the right is the modifier dial, which is a way of kind of altering that movement or your action in some way. So for instance, I might want these figures, here I'll use their actual command tool. I might want these figures to move forwards, so I select the march 2 speed forwards. And then on their turn, this will be revealed. Similar to X-Wing, we grab this little movement template. You simply line it up with the front of the figure, move the figure along it like that.
Okay.
So that's just how movement works. There's no measuring. There's no obsessively for every figure I'm going to measure out the inches. You know, it's very fast. It's very fluid. In a lot of ways, we kind of took the things that make miniatures games fun and cut out the things that made miniatures games unfun.
Okay.
So as you can see, this is set in the realm of Terranoth, which we've had several other games, most notably Descent, Journeys in the Dark, is set in the same universe. So right out of the box, there are 2 factions warring. There are the Decon Lords, which are these human spearmen. They have like this rune golem. Here's their hero. They are fighting against the undead forces of Wykar the Undying. So it's kind of this timeless struggle between the humans and the undead. There are only 2 factions in the core box, but more factions are coming along the pipeline.
I like how the heroes are on a mountain, so you know that they're important.
Yes, and you can actually, there are certain upgrade cards that, for instance, you could field that hero in the midst of this group of spearmen. So she could be fighting in rank with them.
Okay. I'm just turning these so that the camera can see them a little bit better.
Yes.
They're very highly detailed, but they come unpainted. The flocking is something you added as well for
Yes.
Okay.
And we took a lot of we made a lot of efforts as we were sculpting these figures to make them easy to paint. If you notice, like this rune golem has a very kind of chiseled surface, you know, lots of these like kind of broader, flat areas that lend themselves well to painting, you know, with highlights. We want to be very conscious that, you know, obviously we want miniatures gamers to play this game, but we also want it to be equally accessible to board gamers.
Almost an intro level of miniatures game.
You know, someone who has never played a miniatures game before can easily learn Rune Wars, whereas someone who, you know, miniatures games are their bread and butter, there's still enough tactical depth and strategy that they can find plenty to enjoy here as well.
What does combat resolution look like? I see a whole bunch of dice with lots of crazy symbols on them.
Yes, there are custom dice. So for the way that melee combat works, so let's say, you know, we have our Carrion Lancer here and these spearmen are about to charge into battle. Once they hit, they're actually going to do something called squaring up, where they rotate to share a face and then they move along so that they're tray to tray. So that they just kind of lock into melee combat like that. Every card has, here we'll grab the Spearman card. Every card has an attack profile down here at the bottom showing the dice that are rolled. So in this case, you roll the red and blue dice. So you'll receive some number of symbols that can allow you to trigger special abilities, to do damage, to inflict panic on the enemy figure.
Okay.
The size and shape of your unit also has an effect. The wider that your unit is, the more damage each of these damage results will do.
Because you're all focusing on one thing.
Exactly. The deeper your unit is, the more you'll have chances to re-roll your dice. Right? So it really taps into that rank and file miniatures aspect of like you want to have these big blocks of troops that you're pushing across the battlefield because they are better in many ways than, for instance, just a single tray
Okay.
of these guys.
Is there terrain in the box?
There is. There is terrain. It's flat punchboard terrain.
Okay.
But the terrain rules are very elegant, very easy for you to use your existing terrain. So you could take your forest of trees or your mountain or your river
Right.
or what have you, and very, very easily incorporate it into Rune Wars.
Again, appealing to hobbyists who are already into minis games.
Exactly.
But also,
Exactly.
here's your
If you don't-
cardboard trees.
Exactly. If you don't want to, painstakingly make these trees,
Right.
you can just use our cardboard punch out.
How soon will we see Rune Wars?
It is coming very soon. It is going to be early April, April 13th, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Excellent. Now, there's another game that you brought that
Yes.
I'm very excited. I'm going to
Yes.
gently shepherd these guys, these fine gentlemen
Let's
and
do that.
ladies over here, because one of the big movements right now is escape room games.
That is true.
And there have been several on the market, including another one, Time Stories,
Yes.
that plays that way. But this is a new one.
Yes.
That Space Cowboys has come up with, and I don't know how
Yes.
you want to present these.
I can present it here, the easiest
Ooh,
way.
He's opening the box.
Yes, one of the very first English language.
So this is called Unlock.
Yes.
And there are 3 decks of this right now?
Yes.
Or soon?
Yes, there are 3 adventures they're all coming out simultaneously. They're coming out in April. So this is one of them. This is the formula.
Okay.
Each of them, so you have your rules, and you have your deck of cards.
Yes.
Right. So in this deck of cards, I'm going to show you the little 10-card tutorial.
Okay.
That kind of allows you to learn the rules without spoiling the adventure.
Excellent.
So we have this tutorial. Here is the main adventure, the
I
formula.
don't want to see that
don't
yet.
Shield your eyes.
Yeah.
We'll hide that away in here. So the thing that we need to do before we play Unlock is we need to fire up the app. Because this is a game that uses a free companion app, which is available now on the iOS or for Android.
Okay.
And basically, this app serves a variety of functions. It is a timer.
Multi-language.
Right. Yes. We are playing the tutorial. So it serves as a timer, but it also offers.
Just move this up here a little bit.
Yep. It can also offer you hints. It can help you find hidden objects. It can you might need to punch codes into the tutorial. So we can go ahead and start. So the way that this works, we start by flipping this over. So we're trapped in this office, right? You can see that there are a number of numbers here on the card.
Yep.
Those are all correspond to cards in this deck, and those are numbers that we can go and get right now.
You can go search for them.
Right, so for instance, there's 21. That looks like our door. So this is the exit door controlled by a digital code. To
All
get
right.
out, we're going to need to punch a code into the app.
Okay.
There's card 35. We have a cabinet, a locked cabinet up here. 67 on the wall. This is some kind of machine, a grid with pins 5 centimeters apart, some black numbers. We're not really sure what we're doing with that yet. We have card 11, a key, and card 42, which is a screen. There's no electricity. So kind of the fundamental rule of Unlock is you're going to be combining red things with blue things.
And I see you've got puzzle pieces. They sort of
Yes.
fit together.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so those will give you a number if you combine those 2 numbers. So for instance, this screen and this key, that gives us the number 53. Well, maybe
Right.
that, well, there is no 53 because obviously this key does not go with
Does
this
not
TV
turn on a
screen.
television set.
Exactly.
But it might open a locked cabinet.
Exactly.
So is this sort of a free form? Are we taking turns? We're just all trying to figure this out.
It
at
is
once.
completely free form, totally cooperative. So you and I, as we're having these ideas, we'll shout them out, we'll point things out. There are no turns. I mean, really, we have limited time.
So this key could open the cabinet. So 11 plus 35 is 46.
That's correct.
And if there is a 46 card.
So we reveal that up at the top here, it's got the little 11 and 35 showing that we
you
remove
remove
those
those cards.
Right.
We've now.
So now
Oh,
we
boy.
have an open cabinet, and you might be able to notice something inside the cabinet there.
It looks like the number 16.
That is the number 16. So inside the cabinet, we find a 10 centimeter long electrical wire that ends in the form of rings.
Well, it looks like we can do stuff to that.
Exactly. So the question is, which of these pins do we connect, right? Because we're going to be adding 16 to some combination of these numbers, that will be the red number that we get.
Right.
But we need to know what to combine from this. So there's a hint also on the cabinet you can see here. Over there, there's a little hint to how perhaps the wire should go.
Okay.
So if we put the wire in that formation, it's the +3 and the +6, so 9, added to 16, which is 25. We reveal this. It says, well done, you've restored the electricity to the building. So these cards all go away.
Discard all those cards.
And now we have a blue number, this +6.
And the blue number can get added to the television set.
Yep, for 48. Which is our
48,
final card.
And that gets us a code.
The screen is on, and that should help us get out.
And you enter the code into the application. So now we're back here, and we say code.
Yes.
And do I want to enter a code? Oh, I'll lose 3 minutes if we're wrong. But I think we're right. Yes. And we enter the code 2, 3, 9, and say OK.
So the correct numbers.
Oh no! So now we look at this exit sign.
Yep.
And we lost 3 minutes, but I think we were supposed to lose 3 minutes.
Right.
So now we have to enter them in the correct order.
Yes.
9 is the red number. The yellow number is 3. The blue number is 7.
Yes.
And the green number is 2. And we say OK, and the music stopped, which means we win.
Exactly. So that's just the tutorial for Unlock. That is the simplest possible experience.
I want to play more.
Yeah, that's the reaction that we get a lot. These games are so much fun.
And it plays Mars, Bringer of War?
Apparently. You know, why not?
Classical music geek too. Okay, so I'm super happy. This is cool. All right, now my question is.
Yes.
How do I turn this off? Okay, my question is. It's going to keep doing that. Okay, when can we get these decks?
Very soon. It's coming out in April.
Okay.
So all 3 of the adventures are going to be releasing simultaneously, and then there will be more Unlocked this year that we are not going to say more about right now.
Okay.
But there will be more.
I am very excited.
Yes.
Evan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I can't wait to play some more, and thanks for joining us.
Perfect.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, there will be some questions for you over here, I'm sure. And
okay, so I've been taking some of your questions. For those of you who hahaven't gotten on yet, get your questions in for Asmodee.
Do I have time to clean this up? Or
let's have you hop over.
Okay. The silver case is where everything goes. We didn't take anything out of the box.
I swear we'll was that your My bag is right over here. You can just.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing very well.
Fantastic. Well, you've got a busy feed going here. Lots of questions. All right. Okay. So while they're setting up, we'll get right to it. And I had to write them down because they were going so fast and furious. I didn't want to miss any.
All right.
So first, in relation to Rune Wars, from Daniel, can you buy, and this might make more sense to you than me, can you buy L5R at Gen Con?
Right, so that isn't related to Rune Wars at all, actually.
I was going to say, I didn't think so. I'm like, it was under Rune Wars, and I'm like, I'm not 100%.
So L5R is a different game. Legend of the Five Rings, the card game. That is our newest LCG.
See, I'm learning things too, guys.
Yes, we will have limited quantities for sale at Gen Con. The wider release will not be until later in the fall.
Okay. Oh, that was pretty easy, so I hope that answered your question. Alexander asked, what's new expansion for Imperial Assault? And what is happening with the app?
That is something we are not going to talk about right here, but the app is still coming. We're still working on it. So.
Okay, perfect. And here we go from Otar. The previous Rune Wars games have been accessible. How advanced is the new game in relation to the previous incarnation of the franchise?
Sure. So Rune Wars is it is more complex, I would say, than the other Tyranoth games, the other games in the Tyranoth universe, such as Descent and Runebound. However, you're certainly not getting into the most complex miniatures games. So it is much less complicated than like Warhammer 40K, that kind of thing.
I saw that mentioned here.
Yes. So it is, I guess, complex on a board game scale, not so on a miniatures game scale, which makes it kind of the perfect beginner game entry point if you're looking to get into miniatures games.
See, this would be good for me, so I'm gonna have to check this
exactly.
out. Okay, we're kind of all over the map here with Unlocked. I want to see if we have more to what you were just speaking about. Okay, here's a question from Zoltan. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name. With the advent of Rune Wars, will you retire the Battle Lore 2nd edition product line?
No comment.
No comment. Guys are asking tough questions here. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. I think some have jumped over to Unlock, which looks really fun with the app. I think I wrote one down here. Okay, so someone specifically asked if there'll be several difficulty levels.
Yes. So the obviously the tutorial which we just played is like it's like 0 out of 10 for difficulty.
Right. Now, was that showing anything? 'Cause people were worried that that's giving away some secrets in the game. Okay.
No, that is a tutorial. That 10-card tutorial is included in every adventure.
Okay.
And
perfect.
it is there expressly so that you can learn the mechanics without spoiling the adventure for yourself.
Because that was the big thing here. So no, that's perfect. And leading into that, question Unlock, 10 cards in the learning deck, how many in the full game deck?
60.
60. Oh, okay,
Yep.
so we've got lots to play with then.
Yes.
Okay, wow, you've got lots of questions here. That's great. What's this here? Okay, question. I don't.
Are you going to read it out?
Yeah, I can read it out for you. You're okay to answer that one? Yeah, okay. So this is from Darth Ed. When will we see the new reprint of Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective with the new artwork?
So there was a version of Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective published by Istari most recently. We just came out with Jack the Ripper and West End Adventures, which is the same game, new cases. We are going to be re-releasing the cases from the Istari version. That is our next release for Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, coming out later this year.
Okay.
Q3 of this year.
Okay.
So that is all the cases from the Istari version, but we went through and revised, and there were some translation errors that made it difficult / impossible to solve some of the cases. So we've cleaned all of that up.
Okay, so there have been improvements and additions.
Yes.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Yes, but it's the same cases.
Same cases. Okay.
Yes.
Another question here. How long is a game of Unlock? So how long will it take?
Well, a standard game of Unlock, it has a time limit of 1 hour. Of course, there's nothing stopping you from continuing to play until you eventually solve it.
Right.
But if you want to stop after you finish the hour and then take another crack at it again, so there is pretty a hard 1 hour timeline.
Okay, so that's not too bad. So lots to play with in there.
Yeah.
And let's see. Some of the questions I have for you are very hilarious. Okay, we talked about the expansions. I think that's the one you had mentioned earlier. Any expansions for Battle Lore 2nd Edition planned? And is Battle Lore support final?
It's another Battle Lore question, so no comment.
No
Sorry.
comment. Guys, let's try some other questions. He's not going to answer. And I think, let's see. I think we got them all. Did I miss them here?
Arkham Horror, the card game.
Okay, yeah, throw that one.
Will it ever be widely available, or will it be?
There we go.
It is our plan to make as little money as possible.
Oh no!
And so we really want to keep it in short. No, we are reprinting as fast as we can. That game exceeded all of our expectations.
Yeah.
It's an amazing game if you haven't played it.
We'll be doing a live Twitch actually on that one. So
excellent. So yes, we are reprinting as fast as possible. Obviously, these things take some time to be manufactured and then shipped across the ocean and all of that. But it is yes, we want it to be as widely available as possible.
So I have a question for you, personal question with regards to this game. Sure. I noticed that if you buy one, you need to buy several packs for that game. For the Arkham.
Oh yes.
Right. Is that how it was meant to be set up?
Right. So the way that Arkham Horror, the card game, actually works, so you buy your core set, and that has 3 scenarios in it. A little mini campaign of 3 missions, and then the structure that we've laid out going forward, because it is a living card game, and which kind of expands month to month.
Right.
There will be a deluxe expansion which introduces the start of a new campaign, and then 6 packs following it that carry out that same campaign.
Okay.
So each a deluxe expansion and 6 packs is an adventure. It's a full campaign.
So that would be enough to get through it, no problems.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So you need the core set, and then maybe this first campaign, maybe you're not interested in that one. The next one, you can jump right into that one.
Okay.
So it's very modular in that way. However, you can't really jump into the very middle of a campaign, or you can. There is a method to play in a standalone mode, but you do miss out on the campaign experience.
Okay. No, that was a big question for me. So that's perfect. Oh, let's see here. Oh, and I think we covered them all. Sorry, one quick last one. MSRP of Unlock. I don't know if
$14.99.
$14.99.
Yes.
There you go. We got your question. Each
of the adventures is $14.99.
Okay, perfect. Now, is there anything else you wanted to add before we sign off?
No. Thanks, everyone.
That's it. Thanks for joining us. Bye. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
that was
of
great.
course.
I had to get my Arkham.
Hey, everybody. Well, it's been good talking to you guys all day today, or not. Didn't we do this at the beginning?
Who's going to sign off?
Oh, well, hey, before we sign off, we want to say thank you. Today has been a work of 10 different people. You saw some of them. You saw Eric Summerer and Z Garcia and Sam Healy and Mandy Hutchinson and Suzanne Sheldon. But there's also people behind the scenes. There's Mike Parkinson and Chaz Marler and Derek Porter. A lot of cameras, a lot of setup here behind the scenes. And then Joe.
I didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything. No, he got the badges.
I got the badges.
He got the badges.
Look at all these people and all this equipment.
Badges? We don't know speaking badges?
This is,
Am I the only? Yeah, right. All right. Hey, we're going to be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'll be doing another 8 hours of game interviews, and then we'll be doing the same thing Thursday. There are many, many, many publishers left to talk to. We want to thank you guys for watching, but now we want to go eat and rest. And so until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joe Stedman.
And everyone else is around here. We'll see you guys.
Bye.
I think we're still on, so just keep.
Yes, you are still on.
But,
I get to take a bite last night.
oh, I do not remember doing that.
Okay.
Did we do that? Well.